Hello there. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to Current Situation Media. I am Vincent A. J. Hooks Jr., your host and moderator, alongside here with one of my panelists, Pastor Success A.B. Dennis. How are you, sir?
I'm good.
Yeah, thank you for coming on tonight. So, how's the weekend going?
Yeah, my man. The weekend is fine. We have been having a wonderful time. We have a nice service today. It was awesome. There was a lot of fun in the service. My members who are UPS were laughing at me and making some little fun, and we're just sharing fun, man.
Your colleagues, the
yeah, my,
UPS?
the church, some of the musicians they are UPS, so all the song they were singing to all Victoria song.
Yeah.
God said, I'm a winner. I can never be a loser. If you see me dancing, I'm dancing like a winner, man. So these are the songs we're just singing today. It was just lively. It was nice, my man.
Right. Yeah, I know, but in every race, someone have to win. So tonight we'll be talking about the president concession statement. I think Steve will be coming on shortly, and we're also going to send a link to some of our guests who wants to come on tonight here to opine. And yeah, but it's been a very fruitful weekend here on my end here. Everybody just been calm and collective, and making sure that peace. We had a peaceful election. We live in a democratic society, and we exercise our democratic rights. So I think Liberia is, we are proud of ourselves, and this process went smoothly. Even though we had some riots that went on in some provinces, and but I think one or two people were killed. But other than that, the whole election was peaceful. And we see that after NEC make announcement or address the public during a press conference on the 17th, President WEAH offer a audio statement conceding to the election. And right now here, we do have the copy, the textual copy of the statement. And as you can see, some of the seditians and some of the Liberians, they are not happy and are saying that not because CDC lost, but also they're saying that the president, did not wait. He gave his concession statement too early and without waiting for the official results. But in the concession statement, we are pointing out that looking at the numbers so far, CDC was not able to surpass that number. I think based on that and based on key advisors and constituents, talking to his folks, he decided to, give a statement and reach out to Mr. Walker. So what say you? And now we found out that we have some ballots that have not been counted in Nima County. And also, we see that some videos are surfacing the internet. There's a whole lot of other stuff going on. Neck, I put some things on hold until Monday. So we would like to hear from you your input, and also like to welcome Malcolm Va. I like that name. So yeah, Pastor Sussens, what do you think? So the question here is looking at President Weah concession statement. Do you think it was too early, or you have waited at least, to hear from NEC and they have given the final result, or you think it was not necessary?
Okay, from all indication, President, we all knew that the balance, of vote as per NEC pronouncement, as per net result on Friday was a clear indication that the 0.4, I don't know, was it 45 or 48% left. Even if it award that to the CDC, all of them vote. CDC could not accumulate a vote that would surpass the percentage Omen Boycott had. So in that line, President, we are thought it wise to go on and say, hey, I concede because, you know, and I think President, we have felt that the idea of the soccer game, that somebody leading you 5-0 in the 90 minutes, the possibility of you redeeming is difficult. But it doesn't work like that in politics. Because in politics, there are millions of lives that look up to you. And I think there was some citizen disenchantment coming from. That, you know, by law, next you have declared somebody a winner. But again, in-house, we know what happened. The president was angry. And out of anger, I think that's why he took that decision to concede. Because there are a lot of things that he never expected to have happened that happened. And he think these were honor money fighters to give CDC the result they got number one. Today, if you listen to him at his church, he said something. He said, you can't be in authority and you're making power with everybody. When he said that, that was actually referring to Summer Tour. Summer Tour, even a month before election, can you imagine? NEC was still crying that they have not received the full funding for the election. And Summer Tour were giving justified reason why he had not given the money for NEC. And they were back to back, like, having confusion on it. The president had to get involved before Summer Tour paid that money. So the president feel that the country looking at you as a finance minister, having the kind of tete-a-tete issue with NEC on election matter that concern the country. He felt that it was not a good decision. And above that, I think the president felt that both of the guys around him from the election, he realized that they misled him. So he never had the time to listen to them anymore, to say, oh, don't do that, no. You just thought that at this junction, the only thing I get now to maintain is my integrity and to set the record in Africa, because it's not easy to see in African leaders. I think that would be a legacy for me. I won't allow anybody to ruin it. So he took that decision to go and concede. So I think for me, in my opinion, I'm not going to join. I'm a seditious, I will be a seditious, but I'm not going to join any party, executive or partisan or seditious, whatever, or sympathizer to come and say, oh, the result is that we don't accept the result. Well, the country has to move on. Like I said on the show the other day, the country has to move on. Right now, as I speak to you, meetings are being held in Liberia. Liberia rather, for the woman thinking how to start from his government. For any information, we already got it. Liberia is so small in the point that no matter what, any kind of government coming to power, you will get someone very close to you who is part of that particular government or part of the hierarchy of that country. People are calling already. See, I won't go to the Internal Audit Commission. They want to call John Molu to GSC and Cabinet General as just a minister. These are the three people that are already finished servicing. And mark my word, you see the need coming as ministers in time to come when the president elect start to form his government. So because the thing they want to do is to start immediate audit of past two government, and which I think I support. I support. Why is so I would like President WEAH, we like the kind of development care on in our country, but if people obtain wealth that was not merit, they should account for it. Nobody's going to be against why you audit somebody, but it shouldn't just be like selective audit that is targeting certain individual. It should be holistic across the board. So yeah, the president conceded to me. I think it eased the tension for the country. It helped to maintain the peace, because as a leader, if he had not conceded, it would give hope to the partisan. And maybe by now, a lot of things could have been happening in the country. Like he said today, he said, if I have acted the actual politician, tell that there's riot all in the country, blood all over, and we're fighting because I want to be in power. So I think it was necessary that he conceded.
Thank you. We appreciate your input. So, Malcolm, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, what is
don't hack anybody from here to there, Malcolm? Don't hack anybody from here to there, please.
Malcolm,
you should not hack anybody from here.
Malcolm, no hacking.
I'm not touching anybody's phone. I don't even do that one, man. I want to go after stuff that matters to me. My target. This is you not my target. Don't worry.
So,
I,
Martin, do you think the president was too quick to publicly concede, or you think it was the right thing to do after he realized that he could not surpass the number after next press conference on Friday?
Honestly, I think the greatest team president we have. I mean, the last time, Pastor Success and all would discuss that he will targeting that price, right? And that price is currently heading towards him because not only in Liberia, the entire war had given President Weah the next time. He did tremendous well for this decision. Look, the president has local advisor and he also has international advisor. Mind you, there were ECOWAS people from the ECOWAS leadership. He also had an advisor with ECOWAS. He sat with them. The numbers is there. The Pastor Success said, okay, if Ned come out and said that 99%, right, of the vote have been counted, what do you think 1% or half percent would do to CDC? Even if we would know that, I mean, the vote are not been fully counted. But looking at the fact, the president, even today, the pastor said, in he met church, he said it. He's not going to, bog down to people who fail him because he angry that people around him, but equally so, he said should be held responsible because if you put people in the leadership and they are not doing a job, you move them and put somebody there. Because mind you, there are a lot of citizens who struggle for this. Like I said last time, they struggle for this party, but they were not given the opportunity to make the impact. So these are the ones that are making noise. And this clearly shows that CDC has struggled in terms of leadership, in the leadership structure. They struggle a lot because people in leadership cannot even answer the local people who are struggling for this party. When they try calling them, they don't answer. What are you going to tell them? But when you are in government, when you are governing people, it's not just about setting people. And that's what we are still at. It's all about Liberia because Liberians voted you into power, not just seditions. I see people saying that, oh, where am I going to sleep? And there's that. Look, the country, the benefit of Liberia is not just, it shouldn't just be towards one certain group of people. Everyone should enjoy. I think President Weah did the right thing because the numbers are there, the data are there. Look, that cannot complicate anything yet. All right, they should be under the game. And like the pastor said, Summer 12 failed. Even up to now, there are networkers who are demonstrating that they are not being receiving, all the very incentive, all the benefits, their food. Some of them are not being fed out of put inside. But they're doing the job, they're working for the country, they're doing a major job. And people saying now in America, I don't really call them sedition, I call them we addition. Because the real typical sedition, like Pastor Saul says, understands that the country needs to go. And if CDC want to make an impact or want to come back, they should keep quiet and start to go back and recalibrate. Go back and do the groundwork. Because we got 2029 coming. I think they have an opportunity. But depending on the kind of a leadership that they're going to bring back. But President Weah did the right thing. He saved the country from chaos. Matter of fact, the entire war are actually supporting Liberia. President Weah once more put Liberia on the map when it comes to democratic, because you see in West Africa, all the coups and stuff that go. You think President Weah can't die like Samuel Keto? He's not going to listen to the people. He mad with them. They feel him. He brought them around him. They never gave him good advice. They feel him now. Some of them are crying because like John Molu is ready to start auditing people. Something that Manasari didn't want it. She knew his capability, but she after he did his first work for the UN or the International Committee, when she took over, she said, "No, the man cannot come. He's going to do a lot more damage." And this is the man the woman is bringing. And I'm totally, I mean, I'm happy that President we are even at his chest today to say, you know what, it's over. Just forget it and think about 2029. And I'm with him on that one.
All right, thank you. So back here to Pastor Sosis here. If you are in past, if you were President Weah, You was the president. Listening to your key advisors, you think it would be the right thing to do, and knowing the fact that okay, uh, there's a possibility that some ballots might be uncounted for. And after listening to the next press conference, they stated that in Grand Coup there will be a recount in some counties. In Nima County there will be a recount. And but your advisor keep telling you, Mr. President, you have to concede based on the numbers that we have calculated. So, but he was not under pressure because you mentioned he was mad, but I think he was not under pressure, because it was still time, to pretty much take in the defeat, or maybe it was still time to mentally process that, and you'd be like, okay, you know what, I will concede by Monday. It was still more time, but I think based on looking at President Weah, he's not a angry guy. A lot of people insult him, and have insulted him in the past. He's a fun guy. His demeanor, you can tell from that he just want to make sure that things go right, even though some citizens were disappointed in that early concession statement. But if you are in his shoe, you got some advisors telling you don't concede. You got some telling you, Mr. President, go ahead and concede. And at the end of the day, you have to make that independent call, or that independent decision after listening to your close surrogates. What will you do, Pastor Success, if you were in the WEAH shoe? You think you will wait until after maybe 3 or 4 days, or you would just, I would just take, I would do what it say. What would you do when you're in his shoe?
So before I answer, let me put this scenario. Let me give this scenario. And there's someone I'm a criminal, and you and Macron are my advisor as my criminal advisor. So before I go steal, I will come and consult two of you. And you guys as advisor, they're in the back. Nobody know you. So one day I'm about to go steal, then I come to you and say, God, my man, go. You can make it. So before I go, after every telling me I go, I can make it, I decide to look at the terrain I'm going to steal in. And then I watch the terrain, I realize that though you told me I can go, but for my own safety, I play very dangerous for me to go. I'm not going to accept your advice to say go. I'm giving a scenario on ground that whoever my advice president, we are the president, we are looking at the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is, if I concede, it might hurt and buck up my partisan, or some people in leadership will feel very bad, but nobody will die. After a few days, they will come to their side and the country will go on. But if I hold on as a leader and refuse to concede and delay, it may cause the stability because my people will feel safe that I got their back. They will still count on me as their leader, that they still count, they still trust me. And it might result into something else. So to ease the tension, it better I concede right now. For example, Sierra Leone, it was alleged that the current president, Julius Maada Bio, lost the election. I think about 45,000 votes. Alleged. That's what we got. That's what we heard. He did not concede. The opposition political party felt that they may rig the election, and it ended up to a bloodshed. People died in Sierra Leone. It was a bloodbath. Looking at that president, we are seeing all the coup taking place in Africa. All right. So he thought about, hey, I think it's better for the better interest of the country. Let me concede. So if I were in his case, I would do the same thing. Now, President Weah is defeated in a country, in the presidential, but he's being celebrated in the world as a hero. And that's what any good leader will want to do. I have been following news, Al Jazeera, BBC, even Nigeria as a country that using George Weah as a model for their democracy. It was definitely that because of George Weah concession that they were discussing in Nigeria, I realized that I got to notice that the police, the military and security apparatus, people who said the security apparatus in Nigeria don't vote into election. They were discussing Joey when I came up. So Joey he had done the most honorable thing ever in his life. All the goal he scored in the world, the Ballon d'Or he carried, never honorable as compared to what he just did. Mm-hmm. So I think about Sure, I'll do the same thing.
Thank you. Malcolm?
Sure.
Yeah, so you stated that Mr. Weah, it was the right thing to do, but putting out a concession statement here and extending a phone call to Mr. Bwaka, who now everybody is calling him president-elect. Because a lot of critics and people were saying that Weah would not accept defeat because he loved the job. He wants to. He was very optimistic that he was going to be reelected. He even stated that they were not a ruling party and they whooped UP in 2017. And now they are the ruling party. It will be it is impossible. Even we are stated it's impossible for old man Bwaka to beat him. But the campaign and the message, the propaganda was very vigorous, on social media. And I should say that you did well because beating, is always tough, So, but it did well. So he made his concession statement here, and it was read around the world. Even the U.S. government congratulated him that he did an outstanding job, maintaining peace, and it calmed sedition down because sedition, there are people who to calm them down is tough. It really calmed them down. So would you give him a congratulatory statement message that Mr. Weah, you did the right thing, even though it was that early, but you did not wait for a longer period of time. You went and read ahead and sent out your statement. So what do you think? Would this go down in history that Mr. Weah, even though he lost the election, but people still consider him that as an outstanding man and president?
I absolutely, AJ. Look, you see, the presidency is not anybody heritage. President, we are understand that being a president is a privilege. It's not something like he's inherited from his parents. Liberia is not anybody inheritance. So if you are given the opportunity or privilege to serve, you should do so that it will guarantee you or guarantee your next move if you were to continue on your leadership track. But every Liberians, brother, I've been following the internet all over the world. These elections, the decision of these elections, Liberians are always known of making history, whether it be a good or bad. And we are proving to the world that we and every people in every country in Africa, everyone in Africa should follow the same footstep, the same format. Look, President Weah did a great thing. Mind you, there are people in President Weah government that don't like the idea, and there are other advisors. Remember, I told you I said he has advisor, and Pastor said that the same thing. The president has an advisor on an international level, even at ECOWAS, because he's part of the ECOWAS founding member. He do have an advisor with ECOWAS, and they are telling him that look, see what is happening in West Africa, to be specific. West Africa have been through a lot this year and last year. So for the fact that the people of Liberia, knowing that they have been through the process before, they have fought war, senseless war, kill one another, that they can stand up today. President Weah, he's not perfect. He might have made some mistakes, but at that moment, it just take a real leader to make a decision. Even if he have failed in the past, the decision he makes for the past few days, it rest assured the world and every Liberians that President Weah understands the true meaning of democracy. And I believe that if sedition allow the process to go, mind you, we all saying here, it's up to the Unity Party. What they going to do? I'm not going to guarantee sedition that the women are going to go after people. The idea that people are panicking in the CDC executive is because other people fear that they're not going to be protected. Where is the campaign manager or the like of Eugene Namwe? He's not even in the country. These are people that already who are in the forefront when it comes to leadership of the CDC. These people, I believe they have some consultation with the president and they agree that, look, the numbers, even with the bottom bases that have not been counted, we're not going to, look, we cannot surpass this number. All right. You don't really have the vote that they are saying that those ballots are not being counted. Are they even 1% or even 0.5%? And even if so, is that going to make a difference? No, I'll say no. What chaos? We see all the recordings from other disenchanted institutions who feel that they have been left in the drainage. But then again, it's up to Omen Bwaka. I think the Omen will do a great job to bring the country together. Right now, people are scared. Situation coming with fake news that Unity Party people are going to target, and nobody going to target anybody. We are Liberians. And move forward. If citizens feel that they can make a difference, they should come back to now. I think it's a time. 6 years is a long period of time to be able to recalibrate and put things into order. Call it housekeeping. Do that. Then you can come back strong with better leadership. But I think they have the opportunity. It depends on how they proceed with the whole stuff. Because the world already know that Omen Braga is the next president of the Republic of Liberia. So everything they're talking in it's not going to change anything. There are people who just feel like Liberia is for them. No, Liberia is for everyone. When you serve better, people will continue to give you the opportunity to be able to serve them, to be able to lead them.
So, Pastor Sosa, there's I know last week, not last week, a couple of days when we're discussing, looking at numbers and breaking down the electoral map, we noticed that the NET website had Bwaka typing WEAH, and it was kind of a little bit shocked, and where it was typing WEAH in Grangide, which was shocking to us here. And I don't know whether it was a computer glitch on the website, because we know that we are pretty much clinch all the southeastern county. And when I first viewed it, it says WEAH were up, but then when I refreshed the website and came back, it said WEAH was down. Did you notice that?
Yeah. Let me say this. We will have to accept the result of this election and move forward as a country. But I think our electoral process was too vulnerable. Very, very much vulnerable.
To hikers?
To hikers, to anybody who want to, who could have, who might want to manipulate the system. Anybody could do anything with the website. And let me say this. There were manipulation that was done. What our CDC did theirs, Unity Party did theirs, but from all indication what I saw, it tells me I'm not throwing it out there 100% like it's Unity Party who did it, but it signal out to me as a person that if you ask me who I'm going to first accuse, my eyes will be on Unity Party. They might have done that because we all know, the entire Liberia knows that Grangide is George WEAH electoral farm. He can go there anytime and have his vote. There's no way that a Joseph Newman Boakai can tap George WEAH in Grangide County. It's not possible. No way. You put it to sleep, you take it from sleep. The same way it would be very difficult for George WEAH to tap a Joseph Boakai in Lofa.
Right.
That's the same way it looked like with Grangide. So I I went on the website, on that website, and because what happened, what I would normally do is before NEC get preliminary. I mean, where in Marco over there know much about the e-system that I do, the electronic system that I do. There's something they call the data transit, right? When data are transiting, when the data have been uploaded into the system, and someone else have to pick up them, for onward transmission, that process before accessing the data and what have you, that process there is a transit process, right? So at that transit point, somebody who is an expert in hacking or playing with figure or manipulating any e-system, electronic system, can go in there and do anything. And exactly that's what they've been doing by election. But do me a favor. I personally send you some information. I want you to make use of them. Can you put that screenshot from NEC website that I sent you on the screen?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do now. So with that said here, Malcolm, I don't know whether you noticed that or you visited the website, because I guess you've been visiting the website.
I noticed that on Friday. The
Yes,
number
the
on
normal
Friday.
split. So do you think that was due to that Ghanaian IT guy that came in, or something that came
It could
in from from the UK?
It could be anyone. It could be somebody right within NEC that is playing with the data. Now, you see, in data, they got something they call data at rest. If the data is at rest, that means it's in storage on that server. Whether it's a hardware database or software database software that you're using to store those information, data at rest is still need to be protected. Data in transit, that means on the network,
Yeah.
traffic passing through. Data in transfer, it still need to be protected. And how can you protect data in transfer? A lot of things. If you have, even with HTTPS that have a security level, if I can implement a straight and bypass that HTTPS handshake, because what website uses is that they got something they call SSL, which is the secure socket layer.
Right.
It's being used to inspect every traffic. So if you begin a session, if you go to a website, begin a session, that SSL certificate gonna do an inspection to make sure whatever traffic, incoming traffic, they want to make sure they are secure, checking for any malwire, anything that going to, anything that does not match whatever policy that you have on your firewall. These are things that have not been implemented. We see in that website. And that website is vulnerable. You see the like of Armor Connor. He did finance, but when he came to the US, he went to a technical school, computer school. He graduated from the best IT school in the US, one of the best. So he has that technical ability. He even built the executive mansion website that today that they are not even changed, none of the system, nothing. So he built it. He knows all things. Americana built the website for the executive mansion doing Manasari time.
Right.
So it is possible, but NEC has to prove that to see who is playing with those data. Whether it is somebody from the guy from Ghana or somebody within the data center, because we know we do not have electoral, digital, process. But with that being said, those data are still being saved somewhere on those server.
Can you guys see what I just post?
Is it possible you can zoom in a little bit?
Yeah, I think this is let's see here. Yeah, this is how far we can go.
All right, so if you look at that is Grand Judea County District. I think District number 2 or District number 1. Say it's better. Say it's more viewable to you. Can you read it for all, Mr. Host?
Yes. So we have 2023 runoff presidential election.
Do you want to start from the top? What you call the county? Which county is that?
Yes, Grand Judea County.
Okay.
We have Grand Judea County 2023 runoff presidential election results, number by registered voters, and a number by precincts. All right, so we see that Boaka is 16,900 953, while we are at 6,000. So that number, when I, like I said, when I first was monitoring the website, it was that number for WEAH, the number that Barker have now. So I think it was tempered wave. It was flipped. So I'm not sure whether somebody tempered with this or it was just an error from the person that was inputting the data. I'm not sure.
Look, the importation of data, you can take it from the string. We can discuss it, but you can take it from the string, and then put the video that I send you. Is it possible you can come on the screen and play it?
Yes.
Play that video. Let's see.
All right, let's play that video. Can you talk about the video a little bit before we put on the screen?
So that video is the Eugene Falcon was caught on record. The guy up there who in Falcon talking is the Ghana guy that was deported from the Unity Party brought into the country and was arrested and deported.
All right,
Eugene Falcon and how he and then how the place a call to him, and then he was telling him a couple of things what to do.
All right.
Let me say to you, Liberians love you. It's also illegal. My dear brother, let me say to you, Liberians love you. You will return to Liberia soon.
Say United Party.
And I will say to you tonight, as an individual, the people who did this to you, make them feel your weight as an IT professional.
You listening to it?
Make them feel your weight.
You hear it?
Say, make them feel your weight. You know why? Because we live in a technologically advanced society.
Okay.
What is that you can do in Liberia in the world of technology that you cannot do in Ghana?
Oh, so you must go hack the election.
So you must go hack the election.
This man is a hacker.
He's a hacker.
What technology is advanced? You also
So you say
have
that brother
the
get security. They're
to
tracking
deal
down.
with the people who dealt with you. And it is my hope
Also,
that you will deal with them. But on behalf of the people of Liberia,
You lying.
I say to you, we are sorry. And I want you to
say
understand.
people are United Party, and not bro. People are United Party.
People are United Party. Not people are
As long
Liberia.
as Joseph Nyimagwaka becomes president,
Call for it.
there was no legal paper to say go. As an ECOWAS citizen, you will be allowed free movement under the ECOWAS Charter. And according to our Constitution, Article 13, you will also be allowed free movement in our territory. I respectfully submit and thank you for your service.
Thank you very much, Fagon.
It's also illegal. My dear brother.
So getting off.
Parents love you.
So you see,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, get that screen. Also, we can see each other. What they are. I want to talk. That call was not yet here for I think you heard where name. With a spoon voice at the back. And said, thank you, Fagon. Now, the reason why I'm not supporting my own party to protest against these results is because over the year, people been insulting that seditionists are stupid. People at the hierarchy of our party just prove to the world that we are very stupid. When this happened, when I saw this on their website, I also sent you a voice recording, right?
Yes.
Play my voice recording. The president didn't listen to that voice recording because the chat room I put it, he is in that chat room. Play that voice recording.
Okay. Yeah, and after you speak, I want Malcolm to report to this here because as an IT specialist here, he got a lot of stuff to say on this here. All right. So we are trying to access your the one that
So when you access it, let me know. But so let me be going ahead. When you access it, let me know.
yeah, go ahead.
Right? So when that happened, I screenshot that thing and sent it to our chat room where the president, I think the vice president is also in our chat room. And I said, hey, guys, this is what's going on. I just noticed it as low as I am in the cyberspace, as low as I am, I was able to deter. They tell me about that Mede Makun or other guys who are cyber intelligence. They could do more than, they could see more than I saw. So let somebody do something about it. And it's like when you take a bucket of water and work it on the back of a dog, right? That's how our information went with this guy. They didn't see no magnitude in there, they never went after him, what have you. Now when the result came and it doesn't favor us, they won't go on the street or they want to do something. I'm not going to support that. I appreciate the president for conceding. I really appreciate the president for conceding. Because if they were smart enough, they were to know that something was happening with the next system. And that's why we are bringing this kind of evidence for the world to know that things happen, things happen with that kind of video. And I put the video in the chat room, they saw the video. All right. That video could be an evidence to say, hey, with the kind of conversation this guy had with this Ghana guy, and we see what happened in the next system, we want, a cyber audit. And they could hire an independent, cyber or technocrat, a team that could audit the system before the process continue. But they sat down supine and allow it to go on, and then they want to come and come crowd far as a ruling party. I'm not going to support that. If there was any fraud in our system, if there was any cheating, it could make sense if the opposition were crying of the ruling party cheating. Why you be a ruling establishment, you say that people mago things under your eye, then you come and say the opposition cheating. It make all of those stupid to the world. And I'm not going to support that. All right? So that's why I told the people the president was good, he was right, and I think the country has to move on. And I wish you can find out my voice. For me, when I count the platform I provide issue, I want to be very authentic.
Pastor, I will wait for AJ. I just want to add on something to that. You see, and that's why when I stressed out the last time, I made an emphasis on there is a need to open the tech war, expose Liberia to a technical war. Because the reason I'm saying this, look, imagine you gotta go spend money you think Unity Party had to go Ghana and get somebody from there, but you do not have people with this kind of a skill set. Look, introduce technology. When you introduce technology into high schools and university level, you're going to create opportunity where people are going to learn, because the IT side, just the technical side, have a put to support these technologies. But we are way back when it comes to that. Now they just went and build a website. Look, I send you that information. I send you in my notepad. If you go through them, you will see every link attach a source, which is a CVE. That is a database for the U.S. intelligence for cybersecurity, where they post any vulnerability, anything that have been used in the past, where hackers have used it in the past to attack system or network. They show that NEC has a lot of vulnerability. If you look at every port, they have ports open that they're not even using. In a real enterprise network, you will not leave those things open. NEC is an institution, is a higher institution within the country. So it is important that they pay key attention. Data is one of the most important protected assets in the world. Do you know why employers or companies spend millions of data to people like myself and other people to protect the assets, which is the data? Because if I have access to your data, I can encrypt that data. Okay, once I encrypt that data, because a lot of companies do not even have a backup system. I don't even think NEC even have a backup system where they can go and backtrack every data, every past electoral process. They don't have that. We need to keep track of this information just for future, reference, just to review in case we need to go back and audit and do some checking. These are things that we tell our people in Liberia, and you don't really need a PhD holder. I don't have a PhD, but I do have 10 good professional IT certification, both on the networking side and on the security side. People think about security is just about physical security. I can go to Liberia right now and just get a USB drive and put a malware on it and just drop it at the ministry and just put an emphasis on it and say, oh, financial data. Once somebody see that, say financial data, they go plug it into the system. And once I only need one attempt to access that network. If someone made mistake at access it, I can do whatever I can do to it. And we tell people that you see countries around the world are investing into a cyber team, a national cyber team, to keep track on these things. Then look, I'm not going to tell you say it's up to the government like Bureau and NEC to hire a forensic, investigation. But is that going to post out onto the election? No, it's not. We got to move on. And like you said, we're not going to waste time yet. But our government, we're going to make sure those things are being, put into place. Where
Our government will. Our government. Uno that's in the government, our government. Uno shit. Our government.
Well, I say our government as a Liberian. I'm not saying unity party. I say our. That means citizens are being inclusive too. They are part of the process. But a pastor, I tell you now, you cannot build any good economy without the use of technology. It's around the world.
So with this information being provided, do you agree that our election was temporary?
Well, I would say it's 50-50, but you have to.
I'm not blaming. I'm not saying whether Unity Party temporary or CDC temporary, but from the data we just read, does it prove that somebody tempered with our electoral system?
If anybody want to tamper with the electoral system, because I went on their website, from the information I saw on their website, I feel that somebody tampered with this number. Either it could not be, it probably could not be from a remote standpoint. It could be somebody work for the data center that trying to manipulate this number, but it's still not going to help. It's just going to create more chaos and stuff. But then I'm saying here is that as an institution, NEC, a higher institution that has data that needs to be protected, they have the full responsibility to hire even experts. And that's why I say, when even if Liberia decide to go to tech, I believe that they should go into technology, invent technology, go to Microsoft, other vendor, bring computer into the country where people will learn, hire people. And then your network that shouldn't be leaving port like FTP open. They shouldn't be leaving things like HTTP, which is the secure error. The secure path for that will be the HTTPS port 443, right? By the end of the day, if you leave those ports open, people like me and other people can exploit them. Because your hacker go and scan network. It doesn't matter. Hacker will go and scan.
I got a question for you. I will hand in that. I will hand in that thing with network. So I trust you.
No. Let me tell you something, Pastor. Let me tell you something. I can scan what I did. I can scan on network. Like I said, I can scan on network. But when I scan on network, I can come tell you, say, Pastor, your church network, your website is vulnerable, right? Let's say your church have a website. I can scan it. And I say, well, if you are taking, financial data, on your website, this website is vulnerable. I can go in there and retrieve data and even encrypt it. And then you will need a decryption key to be able to access that data, right? So I want to tell you that so you can hire me or give me money or pay me to be able to block those vulnerability, to be able to close those loopholes. But if I can scan on website, and if I did not touch it, you cannot do nothing. You got to prove that, from a forensic basis, you got to bring a forensic, a specialist to come and check these things. And you don't have that in Liberia. You're going to spend millions of dollars on somebody got to track, And mind you, somebody can even go, like for instance, Linux. Linux is an operating system that is not a GUI base, like Windows, where people can interact and click on stuff. Linux is pure command lines, right? And people like me, I love to use Linux because with Linux, I can configure my wireless adapter into a managed mode, not a monitoring mode, because anything that's being monitored on the network, they can see everything. They can see your IP address. They can see everything. So if a professional hacker scan your network and do something, and he has his wireless adapter into a monitoring or management mode, you can go out, you can even track it. People use the dark web. I got a browser, web browser that we use that you cannot track it. You will feel that all the way in Germany or in Africa, but right in America. You can trace that because there's so much multi-layer encryption, security encryption. But when we say security, gun or physical security, no, data is more secure. It's most important to secure as much as physical security. So Liberia needs to start thinking. And I'm not going to tell you say yes. And also there is a possibility, yeah, it could have been temporary, this, that, but again, you got to prove that in the court. And it will take time.
No, but I mean, the fact here is to authenticate, not to authenticate, but to know, who did this and who did that. You have to go to court to, point a finger, accusing finger at an individual or a group of people.
Not to prove that oh, okay, yeah, or this IP address as the server at so and so time. It will tell you.
Yeah, but my issue here is physically, even if you are not active, you don't have any idea on any piece of technology. Just from the 1, 2, 3 that is written as per what we just read, and knowing the political landscape of our country, we know that's so a foul play. That a UP having 16,000, in Nigeria, and Georgia having 6,000. It's a very big. It's a red flag.
But I agree, Pastor. But mind you, if you go into such case today, let's say if the Unity Party were to go, and I think the Ghanaian guy that came in, you just forgot them, they went too far as because when you start, and like you said, citizen, that people were so stupid. Because these are alarming things, first of all, and not even the institution that is trying to infiltrate the system, right? Go to the people that owns the system, which is NEC. Question the integrity of the data storage within or that is on that server. Question them. Because I clarify here, there are 3 in cybersecurity they call it the CIA tribe in reference to data, which is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So in terms of C, this does not apply because this is a public document. It has to be accessible to the public, right? But when you come to integrity, the integrity of that data, that's where the money is. That's where you make the money. You can encrypt our data. Do you have any encryption process with NEC? They don't even have anything. Because if I encrypt data, you have to have that encryption key to be able to access that information, to be able to see that data.
So like the way WhatsApp or WhatsApp that we normally use to communicate, and more the social media,
it's the more protected, more secure platform.
Yeah, WhatsApp is more secure than even Facebook because WhatsApp, I think it has a 4 to 5 layer of encryption.
Encryption is the start, and now you need a decryption key to be able to see more information in the background. You don't have something implemented, and put about security or about gun or human being. No, you know how much money country pays for protecting the data. Data is the more important assets within the world. People spend millions of data.
On a serious note, that thing when I saw that thing on the website, I'm like, what's going on? And then. So what I think why are the people do or the hackers? I mean, let me be specific is that they wait for a particular period of time.
They want to require one person. You know what? Hacker, they are persistent. The guys they call APT, right? APT means a hacker can take 2 years just to do a recon on a specific target. A recon could be in person. A recon you could use stuff that or the harvester or recon.ng, where I can go to a specific website, whether it's a company or a government website, and go there and scan the entire server and see what vulnerability I can spot to exploit. Right? These are things that you don't want.
And then also one of our intelligent guy at the party level, he was one of the, because they have both international and local monitoring intelligence guys from the party. They are where they might not be IT experts. They are where they just go and see the literal number, minute after minute, second after second.
Yep.
But then one of the guys came and said, hey, the party got 4 Russians in the country. He took those pictures. I don't know why pictures just leak in Liberia like that. Yeah. The man took the picture of the Russians guy.
Before you continue, Pastor Sosa, the reason is, you see, in the advanced world that you myself live in, information is data, right? There are certain people, you see why you call here in America, they call classified information and unclassified. Now everybody can see those information. And if you have access to see it based on a specific role, for instance, you will not at party level now, just going by party level. Executive, people who are in executive that are close to the president, that have certain role and a credential. Because as an administrator, if say Liberia government hire me to set up a security parameter on all the website, every server they access, everything, like including user, I'm gonna create an account for each ministry. Because now when you leave it or you go to where you're accessing computer on the network at your job. And what you're doing, you accessing a specific domain. And the company that that employ you will create an account. So when you go into your computer, I can go as an administrator, I can go there and see that log, go into the log and see who logged into this system, at what time they log into the system, or even they say there's a new employee coming. I can go there and edit the role. Let's say the person is our chief accounting. What access does it need? I'm going to be asking, in the case, I'll be asking the government or Liberia. If you have a definite minister or director will have, privilege or access to certain document. But undercover employee shouldn't be having access to important information. That's why you see things have been leaking in Liberia to Henry Costa, because anybody has access to any information that they shouldn't be having access to. These are security issues. They're not just about physical, or this, that. People don't understand that the American people spend more money in the Western world, spend more money on technology when it comes to security. That's why you see cybersecurity now is advanced. People make $150,000 now a year. They make good money when it comes to that. But they are doing a job. They are securing one of the most important assets for any company.
I think our this election or two, and if this election at this age is vulnerable, then tell me about the election we had in 6 years ago, 12 years ago, 18 years ago.
Exactly. And mind you, I bet NEC do not even have a backup pathway to those data from previous election. If you ask them to bring in, let's say for example, CDC are saying that they were cheated in 2011. If we go back and look at the backdate, the data from 2011, we should be able to see the information, and that can be used into a future investigation. If there's anything happen, like for instance, in this case, we cannot wait for any investigation. The government will go on. But let's say for example, if Unity Party, underperform and CDC come into power 2029, right? Within a period from now to 2029, they can do the investigation, make sure that NEC has a backup data for every electoral process in the past, so that this information we can go back. Look at the IRS. When IRS, you file a tax, they get your money, right? When they get you your money, at the end of the day, they will wait for a specific time to go back and audit. They will not, you do your taxes, they will get your money. But after the tax period are ended, they will still go by and do the audit because they have leverage to those data. They have access to them. They can do it. So the needs of technology need to be into our country where we educate people, because the whole world lives on technology. You cannot build any economy right now without the use of technology. You will be hiring people from Ghana, Nigeria, who can't do job in Liberia, like the Unity Party. You think they can hire somebody else, but you don't have people with that kind of expertise within the country.
Let me come in. Let me come in quick here. Just want to let Pastor Sosa know here. I checked to my message here. I didn't see the audio. Did you send the audio to my cell phone? Or
Yeah, send it to your cell phone. Your cell phone.
oh, okay. Maybe that's why I didn't see it here. Yeah, I won't be. Oh, yeah, I have to forward it from my cell phone to the messenger. But let me ask you guys a question here while we still work on the audio here. We're gonna start with Pastor Sosa because he's been in government since the Ellen regime. So educate me and the audience, all right? And I should be honest, me, I like to learn. Now WEAH is leaving. Are they going to replace everybody, or usually when in such case they keep some folks? Are they going to replace all agency, everybody, even the NSA, everything? Or does UP will replace everybody? How does that work when that transition period? Which agency they do keep the same people?
So first of all, let's understand the function of our government. It's into three. It's a tripartite government, right? We have the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature. So the judiciary, more at the level of the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice and the justices of the Supreme Court, they are untouchable. They serve a perpetuity, so the president can't touch them. The legislator, the president can never make any appointment in legislature because those people are elected the same way he is elected. So that's a two-branch government. We're done with that. The executive. Every other position in the executive work at the pleasure, will and pleasure of the president, as per the Constitution. However, for some level of integrity, there are certain institutions called the integrity institution that have a tenure. So, for example, the Chief Justice, right? It's an integrity position because they deal with, they make decisions, they investigate cases. It comes with integrity. All positions come with integrity, but these people critique people. So they have a tenure. I think the Chief Justice, if I'm mistaken, it was 7 years. I think it's still 7 years. Beside the Chief Justice, the General Auditing Commission, the GAC, is a tenure position. You know why? In the wisdom of the people that crafted the act that established that institution, felt that, okay, if this president appoint me as a GAC boss and I'm answerable to him, you can fire me at will, I will not be that empowered to do what I'm supposed to do, whether it's against him or in favor of him, because I will want to secure my job. But if the law secure my job, hey, let me do you appointed him, but once he's confirmed by the Liberal House of Senate, you cannot touch him until he complete his tenure. Now, those people can also be fired by the president on a certain condition. Number one, credibility. If the way the president is about to take over in January, he takes over and say, I'm going to order your government. He's not supposed to touch the bank governor. He's not supposed to touch the maritime boss. He's not supposed to touch the GSC boss. He's not supposed to touch the RAA boss. The I call it another auditing commission. I just forget it. Those people, you're not supposed to touch them. Now, in the process of the audit, if the audit proved that these people were involved or they compromised certain level of integrity during the 6 years that they served President WEAH, the law say those people should be recused from the process and face justice. So those people, the president now has a right by the law to appoint new heads of those entities. So that's how the government system, when it comes to appointment, works. There are certain people the president can work out to say that with one father that that's a leverage he has as a president. The finance minister, the deputy finance minister, the education minister, not bank governor, all the ministers, you come to think about it, some director, executive director, managing director, he can fire them. But certain position, you can't fire them because they are tenure position. Like for example, right now, When the Omeka, he can't fire Eugene Nagbe.
The man in Ghana right now. The man in the country, the man in Ghana children.
I know, but he can go back and work.
What he cannot fire Eugene Nagwe?
Because
Eugene Nagbe is a commissioner of maritime.
commissioner,
And maritime position is a 10-year position, I think it's 7 years as well.
So
Yeah.
he cannot be Eugene Nagbe cannot be replaced.
He can only be replaced if he's indicted by other process, or maybe either he's sick, incapacitated, or the president realized that he's not functioning and is position bringing embarrassment to the country, but it has to be go through a legal process. And if the legal process proves that indeed he's not functioning, then he can be removed.
Malcolm want to say something on that.
no, but yeah, that's what I want to say. That's correct. Usually, the man is in Ghana right now, my brother. He's not even giving credence to. Mind you, the man was the head of the campaign team for the CDC for this election.
Let me tell you something. He wrote an apology in a couple of our chat room, telling the party, "Oh, gentlemen, we are sorry that the election we did what we could do, brother. If he knew you were not supposed to read it, the beginning of formulating the latest model course, man course, the way that people can say, they were formulating new one that the other part never used. They were inventing new version, abusing him today in the chat room. Because you see, you know what? When they say you are campaign manager, it's not just going on the street and dancing and then showing placard. No, there are other technical aspects of the campaign you need to look at. All that campaign knows we're causing, the more important aspect is to manage the data of the vote that your people care. That's the most significant aspect, because at the end of the day, that one will determine whether you lost or you failed. And he, as a campaign chair, could not have a team. He could not institute a technical team that could manage the data. As low as I am in the cyberspace, as low as I am, I had never went to any IT school. I wouldn't know computer because I play with computer for long. That I'm able to do few things on computer. I'm able to go into the next system and see a fraud. Tell me if you get access to Marco, who is an IT or technician, right? He will see more fraud than I can see. So, and the people, and the next thing I realized is that the people he had in our very war room were not putting out information as they're supposed to be. Because all the information, hey, look, I don't know why I put up people. If you really look at my calculation, the day we were here, I was saying that we won the election. The calculation I did was very exact. The only thing that happened to it is that they were giving opposite number. The number they gave us was representing broadcast number that they claimed for us. So exactly the number again, I told you on the platform that the first person to reach 800,000 will win the election. And Ome Parker reached 800,000. By the time they reached 804,000, it was on Friday. The Saturday that he reached 114,000. Friday, he was 104,000. I said the man won the election. There's nothing you can do about it.
Malcolm, let Malcolm come in. Malcolm, I want you to respond to some of the statement from Pastor Sussex. But with that said here, also, do you think that a UP or the public leadership going to be inclusive, or he just going to appoint all his UPist guys then? And also, do you think most of the guys ain't going to be from the diaspora, or you think majority of them going to be from Liberia? Your thought?
So this is my thing, right? I mean, Liberians should be grateful that they should be
We
grateful
have
for
a terrible background, man. We have a very terrible background. All of us, I don't know. There's some grinding that I'm hearing in the back.
Why are we having a terrible background?
the man hear me well. Is it good?
I'm hearing you, but I don't know whether the audience can hear. There's a grounding when each or talking. There's a very loud grounding. But go ahead and sing.
Maybe mute yourself.
If you can mute myself, still.
Can you hear me? Come on. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
I'm hearing the grounding when you speak and when AJ speak. I keep hearing the grounding.
Okay, but then maybe AJ need to mute himself. But we can say continue before or when he come back. But that discuss something,
What I would suggest, can we
mhm.
go up and come back?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Because we've been on for I would say like more than an hour 30 minutes. So yeah, that go by and come out.
Yeah. AJ.
AJ can say, but AJ won't come out, won't go out and come out again.
But all the audio is clear. Why we gotta go on and come back?
It's cool. I can hear, I can hear this guy with no grounding.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Go and come back.
no, I'm okay. Okay. I'm okay.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, our panelists will be back here to continue the conversation here. We had some technical issue going on here, so they're gonna come back here. I'm gonna put them back on the stage here. But we are discussing, President WEAH concession statement and other stuff here. Post runoff election. So feel free to come on here if you need the site. If you need the link, we'll bring you. We will send you the link. Okay. So let me check Matthew. Let me see if I can send Matthew the link to come on here. Can you hear me loud and clear?
I can hear you, AJ.
Okay, we are waiting for Pastor Sources to come on here. So go ahead here with the question I asked you.
Yes. AJ, look, man, and this, when a government comes into power, we know that majority of the time partisan will, be in that process of electing that person, right? But once you take over, you are not just the president of your partisan, you are president of the entire republic, everyone's, in terms of, benefits, and not just a center point, right? But I will tell you this, the old man had a greater ties because we all know the country is divided. Liberia is divided. I will not sit here on the platform and tell you, say Liberia is not divided. Some of all I know a lot of friends. They're my boss, if you got Basigia, we attended calling on together. But he's a big fan of the president. He worked with Bill Tuare now. He's at the Port of Buchanan. These guys, I mean, we went to school together. I attended school with him. I called him university before coming to the US. But mind you, Omen Burger have a greater ties to unite his country. That's his responsibility. Liberia need to be united. All this gonna go. And how Liberia can be united by creating opportunity. Some of this opportunity, look, I keep saying technology. I'm not saying IT. IT is just the technical side of it. But when you go into technology and bring, case around technology, they're not going to think about. I bet you the woman take over within the period of 1 year and invent technology. Go to Microsoft or other vendor and work with them and say, my people need these things. I want to help my people to be, to get them into the technical war. You will find out Liberians will forget about the whole thing here. Because everybody you see now in CDC that are having issue now, they think I saw a lady, I fell for her. She said, I saw her for the party. I have not benefited nothing. I don't even have place to sleep right now. You imagine, you know what I'm saying? So the Omen need to bring these people. He needs to speak. If Omen brother is listening now, Babe, speak to the nation. Everybody are your children right now, including citizens. Because the issue in CDC now, the leadership has abandoned them. I talk about the local people. The local citizens do not have access now to the leadership. Those guys are not responding to calls. They are not taking calls from the leaders. And now I say to my leader, Omen Bwaka, please bring our brothers and sisters back. Give them the assurance that they are going to be inclusive. They are important. No one librarian is better than another librarian. I'll tell you, regardless of your career or wherever. I would tell anybody, even the people in the village are more important. They are important as well. The people that are even in the city. But this is a task that the government needs to focus on first to unite the people. Because we know Liberia is divided. Our brothers in CDC, they are Liberians. They have fought for this government, but this government failed because of poor leadership. And I think the government should bring the people back on board. The first thing is to speak to the people of this country that they, especially the young people, look, we want to do something. And in speaking is not sufficient. Bring something that will that will empower them, because right now some of them, they are frustrated, they don't have nothing. 6 years or even more than 6 years, they have labor for CDC, nothing they have acquired or achieved. So the old man has a responsibility to tell them, to give them that reinsurance, say, look, Liberia is all, it's for everyone. And let us join together to make an impact, to make a difference. So honestly, I will tell you this. That's the first thing I will tell the woman, to unite the people, especially the young people. And uniting the young people, I would say, women, use technology. Use technology. We don't want job, we don't want pay. We can make our impact, we can make recommendation to people, within the government. But technology will unite the people, the young people. It will take the mind from any other. Technology helped me a lot in America when I was struggling. The only thing I've concentrated on is computer. My whole life. My wife used to complain, say, my man, they computer like a second wife. I say, yeah, my second wife.
Thank you.
But I tell you, we need to unite the country. Liberia is divided, and the first start is to unite the people, especially the young people.
Thank you, Mr. Va. I would like to welcome one of our panelists. He's very busy, and he said that he promised me, he said, AJ, I will be able to contribute on Sunday due to my hectic schedule. Mr. Dave Cooley, resident of Des Moines, Iowa. So, Mr. Dave, go ahead and introduce yourself. Get familiar with these guys. I don't know if you know these guys that are on the show right now. You know Pastor Dennis and my man Malcolm here. Introduce yourself with regards to your state of residency, your community status, and your profession.
Thank you, AJ. Thank you to the rest of the panelists on the show tonight. My name is Dave Cooley, and I live in Des Moines. I've been here since 2013, I believe. Almost, maybe I would say 13, 14 years of living in Des Moines. Uh, I'm the leader for the Support Development Association in America, the national leader. And I've also served on the Liberian Association of board, served for 2 consecutive terms. And members of the community, a contributing member of the community as well. So it's a pleasure to be here tonight with you guys, just to share some information and knowledge, and in other ways that we can help to build this community. So AJ, I want to say thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Dave. So let's get right into the discussion here, Dave. What do you take away from the president concession statement? Do you think that statement is pretty much will pretty much be a historical statement? Would that statement be kept in the history book? Would that statement be published in the Guinness Book of Record? Or can that statement pretty much bring Liberian back together, saying that it's time to move on and let's get to work?
The president's statement, say whatever you can say about George Weah, but that was very much unprecedented. I know most Liberians didn't expect that statement to have come that so early, because remember now when he gave all that statement, it was the election commission have not even given the final verdict. But that statement was based on the fact that he knew that mathematically it was not possible for him to have reached and to catch up with Honorable Joseph Boakai. So after considering all of the data and all of the information that came in, he just decided that, okay, I will concede, and I would say that will go into history. And it showed the respect for the rule of law. It showed respect for democracy in Liberia, and in fact for Africa as a whole. How many Cuban leaders that leave power and we want to concede in the way that George Weah did? I'm not a fan of George Weah. In fact, this going election, I was supporting Honorable Joseph Boakai. But sometimes we gotta be honest to our soul. And I think that statement that he made will go into history. And it's not gonna be now, but I know Liberians gonna reflect and say, yeah, George Weah has broken another history. African best in football, European best in football, the first footballer to serve as president in Africa, and now conceding after first year of after the first turn of serving as president of Liberia, and he gracefully you know gave in when he knew that he couldn't make it. So it's historical, and I think it will go down into history. I don't know if it's going to go into the Guinness Book of Record, but I know that it will take time for Liberian to to understand the impact of such statement. There were a lot of options this president would have taken. He would have decided that okay, or a 1% different, it could when you do statistics, you can say is statistically dead. So we have to do recount. He would have taken that route, you know. And I know there are a lot of people in that room that were advising him that he should go to court. But we have decided that, well, it is about time. It is about the Liberian people. The Liberian people have spoken. And I think that was the real essence of this speech. So we are grateful. It is time for a new leader to show up on the scene and deliver to the Liberian people, because the Liberian people have been yearning for so many things that have been going wrong in Liberia. And I think Omen Bwaka is in a suited position to set the stage. And we are consciously and critically looking at what the Omen can deliver to the Liberian people, because there are lots of things that Liberian people want to see happen in Liberia, especially with the outgoing of this government. So we are hoping, and are optimistically hoping that things will be fine in Liberia with this new leadership.
Thank you. Pastor Success, I know you are a committed citizen. How long you been a citizen, Pastor Success?
I've been on Sedition 205, but let me make the record very clear here.
No, I have a follow-up question. The reason I asked you that question, so I want to ask my follow-up question, then you can come back. Yeah, but you said since 2005. What and I want you to be honest, and you're an honest guy. You know, I've been communicating with you most of the time on camera and off camera. What do you admire about Omen Bwaka? Be honest. What do you admire? What do you think the people will do to help the country? Yeah, even though you are committed citizen, but what do you admire about him?
I think I have nothing that I admire about Omen Bwaka. Sorry to say, because for you to admire somebody, you must have known them very well, work with them over the years, or maybe read about them and study something about them. Omen Bwaka, I worked under his regime. The regime put away as a vice president, working in our government for 11 years, some months before I left the country. But if you ask me as per age, why, I think he has an experience. He's an elder. So be an elder, the kind of mistakes that young people make, I don't think he will make those mistakes because he has had his own personal experience. Like we normally say back home, experience is the best teacher. So I think you're going to use this experience or the experiences to make sure that the right thing is done. And like I was saying earlier before or Dave came on, Liberia is a very small country that a group of people across the road here that are having confusion with another person will realize that the people that are having confusion with either a friend or a brother is in that other group. And that is why all day that brother was senseless. Before I go to the point, let me give this scenario. During the Civil War, two brothers from the same mother, one was fighting for the NPF and one was fighting for the AFL. There's a play in Liberia on the battlefield we call Tower Hill. There was a war that fought on that Tower Hill. AFL held that Tower Hill for almost months. The oldest brother was the commander of the AFL that was commanding the troop at Tower Hill. The little brother was the commander of the NPFL that was fighting to take the shopping meritor barrel in the 90s. When the war ended and we all started going around and family meeting family across the line through conversation and lecture. Because the older brother, I didn't know his little brother was across the line, but he never knew where he was. through conversation, they got to realize that for almost 3 months, two brothers from mind and power battling each other. Right? I said to say, right now, as I talk to you, Omen Boga is forming a government. And right on the land tonight, I name to you the first 3 people he's going to appoint in his government and the position they will occupy. So that's the thing.
Who are they?
1, Cabinet General is going as Justice Minister.
John Malu.
Cabinet General is going as Justice Minister. Mark it down.
Yeah.
John Malu is going as General Auditing Commission. Where need the paper or our broom paper?
Tawa Gongo.
Tiawa Gongo is going as at the Anti-Corruption Commission. So these are 3 technocrats that the Omen first of all want to bring to help, either with auditing or whatever and whatever. The next thing that surfaced, and I tell you, I'm giving the information from an insider who is a personal friend to me from the top of the Unity Party. There's a lady who works for the CDC government called Mana Glasgow. She is the overall board for the Labrador National Fishery. Because of the kind of immense work she did over the year, her name surface with me in that position. But the argument they're having right now is that there's some little sneaky thing about how people are allegedly saying that she got involved with some Senegalese company that was dragging fish out of our water, and the money now we made it into national cover. That is a sneaky issue now right on her, but her name surfaced because she did, she refined, she transformed the fishery sector. So these are the discussions.
She did well, Pastor. I'll tell you now. She was seditious, but she did well.
So when it comes to from what I'm seeing, like I always told you, I'm a sedition, and data over the low. But you see, if we just continue to take party above country level, we destroy Liberia. So it's about time the trend the government is taking it to continue. You will do well, But personally, as an individual, I don't really know him like that, so I can't admire him or I can't discredit him. My only reason that I could not support or I did not support him for presidency is because I knew a lot of criminals from an government that he is psycho. Real criminals. Right now, the government took the entire appointment team and put it in Amara Kone. Amara Kone is saying for to be assistant minister. Deputy minister will get 2 master's degree. That is not in the party. That is not in the party. To be assistant minister will get 2 master's degree.
And Pastor Success, I just want to add on to that, right? Having a degree is not a thing. I would like to tell my big brother Amara Corner is that when you have a degree, you must also have some kind of maybe 1 year, at least 1 year experience. Because we have people in Liberia just have degree, they don't have experience. You know how many degree holders in Liberia? They are not working in a specialty. They just have these papers.
But the main point is for us to first of all look at your CV and discuss you as a candidate for a deputy minister. You get 2 degrees for your first material. Then now we are going to see what kind of experience you have and what have you. But for us to say, yeah, we accept your credential to discuss you as a deputy minister, it will come with 2 master's degree.
You know what? I'll tell you this though. It's good. Right? The degree team.
What you have to say that?
I'll be right back, gentlemen. I'll be right back. I don't know.
Okay.
I think the Unity Party, Liberia, we have tried degree holders. We have tried non-degree holders. I come here.
That is some CDC sound.
I come in. It's okay to have a degree when you have experience. That's a plus. We call that A plus, right? But example, if I come out, if I were applying for a position within the government, the incoming government, right, and I have a double master from the US, but I have not worked I have not worked in America. I have been working in a factory and in a group home and this, that. But yet, I expect to go back home to make transformation. Look, that's why I've been feeding our people, Pastor. You get me? In my career, my technical lead, the kid is a kid because I'm older than him. And I call him a kid because I was born 1984. I call my age here now, so yeah, they made that picking. I was born.
Begin. Going for your African line with this happening, you begin.
But guess what now? There are people who listen to me, CEOs of company. It doesn't matter. And this kid older than him. You know what he made? He made 150,000 now a year as a senior analyst in our department. And guess what? He don't even have a degree. He has GED. Meaning he never even graduated from high school. The Air Force to get GED. And if this man can be successful, he works for a lot of financial institutions to secure one of the most important assets. I think degree is great, but experience pays. The what have been
Experience does, but
we lack
like
human capital.
when you see people doing people doing job advertisement, right? The first thing they start with, they say qualification and experience. So the first qualification, they say either a high school graduate or a technical certificate or a college degree. Then now from there, they will tell you, okay, maybe 2 year experience, 3 year working experience, 4 year working experience. So I'm not gonna his team and saying, hey, bro, before you come to the community, they say you want to be deputy minister. When you come in with your CV, 2 master degree will be inside it.
I agree. Yeah. But
then when you get a 2 master degree now, then the community will set you down and start asking you, with your 2 master degree, where have you worked?
Exactly.
So if you are not working anywhere, so okay, we'll see your master degree, but what you do is not be deputy minister, go be assistant minister. You know, but then what do you have to say?
Dave, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
What do you have to say, Dave?
It is good. It is always good to have the educational backing for everything that you do or for work. And for me, education is just not just going to the classroom or going to school and having the master degree or the PhD or the bachelor degree. Education can be in terms of formal and informal education. But a lot more in this country where all of us have spent most of our time here is that the people place so much emphasis on experience. When you apply for a position, the people want to know if you are working that field before, most of the time in this country. So, and again, education here in America is like a secondary thing in terms of, trying to inquire a job or getting a job or having a position here. So I think what we should be doing in Liberia is that we should be placing more emphasis on experience. If the person have done a job before, and what are they able to do, those kind of things. Experience, I think, is the most important thing, and that way the emphasis can be. You can have the academic credential, but I think we should not be thinking about. You don't need a 2 master degree to occupy any kind of assistant or deputy minister position. You don't need two master degree. So what's the essence of having 2 master degree?
That's the information reaching us now that they want 2 master degree to be deputy minister.
If that information is right, then I don't know who is doing the vetting. But for me, you actually don't need 2 master degree to do any job here. Look, the minimum degree you need in if there's anything at all like having a degree, maybe the minimum should even be a bachelor. One place more emphasis on experience. How long have you worked in the field? So, for instance, if you want to apply at the Ministry of Finance in business and finances, people want to know how well have you worked in the business and finances department. And what have you done? What has been your specific in terms of delivering? Like for instance, the gentleman on the panel here tonight was talking about IT. When you go to IT and you go for interview, he will tell you that in the interview, the recruiter want to know your lingo, the language you speak in the IT. Will tell him that if you are okra within that field or not. Because in the IT field, the language you speak is different from the ordinary English that you and myself going to be that we speak around here.
We
So
call
when
it
you
acronyms. We call it acronyms.
yeah, the acronyms that you use, but
Yeah.
it's so you have to have the experience to be able to really be able to effectively be able to do something. It's not just the academic side. It is good to have the academic side and have the credential and all of that. But it is at the end of the day, those documents, those paperwork you have is not the one going to do the performance. The delivery come through experience. So I think we should be placing more on experience side of the job because there are lots of Liberians in Liberia over there that a lot more have experience in those various field of work, but they don't have the credential, they don't have the bachelor, they don't have the PhD, but they have worked so long. Let's take this the story of Dallon DeLong, like you always tell us. DeLong didn't go to law school, but have you seen him the way he explained the Constitution when they are having the delivery in the Senate? Have you come to real you wonder this guy who they said he didn't even have a high school credential. How is he speaking? It is because all along he said he had worked within the Justice Department for many years. But way back standard in Liberia, we call it apprenticeship. And that have allowed him to acquire lots of knowledge because he had done a hands-on training. So, but he doesn't have the paper hanging out there to tell the people that he's a lawyer or he can be a solicitor general. But he have the knowledge, he have the experience. So I think we should start to be putting more on experience, and I hope that our educational department this time will even kind of look at the curriculum in Liberia and place more on vocational, where the guys over there or the people over there can be able to use their hand mostly, and they can be able to do something instead of just having a big degree hanging out on your wall, but then you
And,
don't
and,
have
and
to show anything for it. And that's how I see it.
honestly speaking, I expect CDC government to have done more with educational, than any other institution because the main ways of educational minister have been in the educational sector for years. He's a professor at the University of Liberia, Dr. Atul Soni.
Yeah.
You know, this man have served the educational sector
Be right
for
back.
over years. He from my Gibby, you know. So for him to sit over there and the educational system, people complain that he has a problem. They I don't know, But again, that era is over. We're in a new era, and we're hoping that what you guys are saying. Let me come to that area when it comes to the experience. It's very important, very very much important. And I was telling somebody right now that we're just playing forward in our chat room. Because as objective, I try to be to my someone and call it from CDC, they try to have problem with me. So I try to say, let me tell you one thing. We all in those recording, someone will get job. You know why? It's not for being educated. But my experience in certain sector of Liberia, I'm needed. I'm a technocrat. If you're looking for access management technician in Liberia, I want to know. The government use money through the USAID. They use American tax bill money. They treat me. I'm certificated. All right. Besides that, I can go in the energy industry in Liberia and work. I can go into the disaster management area and work. I can be a disaster rescuer because I was trained here how to do rescue from other height or from basement. So, but again, there are people who have the technical know-how, but because they lack experience, they are not efficient. So I think, like you guys said, more emphasis has to be placed on experience, you know, And somebody one time I was listening to say, sometimes the problem not even have a degree in certain discipline. All right. But the fact that they are able to learn on other people by that we thought or they will call it apprenticeship. They learn and become so experienced that to the point that you bring someone with a master's degree, they can't even contact with that person because the person is a veteran.
But Pastor, let me tell you something, right? You know how people work in the Western world? Especially I'll go with my fee. In the IT field, you don't need master or PhD degree to make money. I just told you that the lead of the engineering security in my department, right? They begin, when they got GED, and we all know GED and I'm in high school certificate. Those are people who did not graduate from high school and they needed to, to be able to get some form of, college experience to be able to go to college, right? But he did not even go to college. The man worked in IT for 10 years. He obtained 15 professional certifications in networking and cybersecurity. He makes $150,000. What we go to school for to make money, right?
That man you sent to our system, that man you sent down there. That man you sent that man down there. You man, I was suspending you. He sent that man down there. So he sure that Omen will become president. He sent that man down there.
Pastor, let me tell you something. I will not jeopardize my career. I make an emphasis that they got different types of hacker, right? They have their white hat and black hat. I'm a white hat, right? So
you use a white hat or hacker?
I'm not hacking, right? I'm only scanning your system.
I'm just kidding, man. I know you can't do that, my man. I know you can't do that. You do that with no, my man. We'll see it.
Yeah. Net was not really my target. I got different target, I do stuff, I work as a cyber analyst, part-time on network operations center engineering, full-time. But on my spare time, I do some lot of hacking because you see in IT, right? IT is practical. So I would never go like bro, go look for a job, Pastor. I want to sit here. I compete with people, Indians. When I apply for a job, I was saying one other job. I don't even apply for a job now. My email, they send me job. I refuse it. I don't want it. Because I can work 2, 3, 4 jobs at the same time. But with AI, now I got I'm in the process of 3 jobs. I can set up system in my house using AI and just if I work with a company, I can program a network. If that interface go down, program just go there. If that monitoring system, I can program it. If I need to send security parts, program it. Right? IT is on. Anybody that is in IT or the computer, they don't know everything because it's very rough. You got database, you got programming. I'm an IT specialist, but I don't know everything in IT. My own area, my strength is networking, computer networks, and security. But do I know database? Do I know the program a website? I can hack a website. I can go to a DNS server and go into it. But I do not know.
So my question: some be on the establish show. Why have you done with anybody? Because people keep going off.
Yeah.
But then you will do you want to shit?
Dave, I want to ask you a question. I want to pose this question.
They come here, they may just want to implicate me, into that.
I want to pose this question. What is your expectation for the Omen first 100 days in office? What do you expect to see?
My wife is looking at me. She said, "I like Omen."
And just share a form before you come in.
Yeah.
Every the political chat in the bureau, they got opposition, but you don't know until something happens.
I know.
So today, somebody was in our chat room, and I get up with the opposition. They test and say, yeah, our people were dedicated to the PhD partner. Yeah, government contributed, but we're playing that PhD.
Oh,
dedicated PhD partner, man. Man. We measure we end on the bar road, the local road, like people in the local road. So, people start here because They see now project all over the place that the government going to complete. So I'm putting out the question, despite the smaller projects that are going on, but as Liberians, with the crowd with them, oh, the government are doing well, the country this, the country that, the country that. What is your expectation as an individual that you expect to see in the first 100 days of the government being offered that will serve as a sign, that will be an indicator of a sign of success?
Yeah. Thank you for the question. Right now there are lots of when you look at the structure of government back in right now, especially the present government, when it came to power, there were lots of things that were never considered. And I think uh, Honorable Baka going to learn from most of these experience from George Weah. One of those things is that he missed, that George Weah missed, was the auditing of the past government, which is very much critical. The past government was never audited. People didn't know what they met from the heading general study government. And even though the citizens cry asking President Weah at the time to audit the past government, and he didn't do it. And today, see where we are in terms of the way our economies look right now in Liberia. I think we heard the president when he took power, when he said, I think he met 150 million in the account. We heard that when Heading Johnson said he was leaving, we saw people transporting government vehicles across the borders to Ivory Coast, Guinea, Freetown, all those places. Government property were all around. There was no accountability. So one of the key things that the Liberians are pushing at this time for Honorable Bwaka to first start to do is to audit the government. And I think most of the Liberian people are on board with that. We want to know how government resources were spent. We also want to know if you are making $200, how can you get $500 house or houses all around here? So it's all about accountability. And so that would be the first thing, to audit the government, the outgoing government. That's number one. Then the next thing would be, and these are things that we've been hearing from most of the way Liberian people are, what they expect. And one of those things is the war crime code. The war crime code, the vice president elect is on board. The president himself is also on board with that. So we want to have people to be accountable for whatever atrocity that was committed in Liberia during the civil crisis. People can't just go free. So there should be some human accountability. So the war crime code is one. But all of these things will not come into place when there is no structure. So I would say that the next thing will be, or maybe that will be the first thing, the president will have to have a structure, put a structure in place, have people working in those various areas that need to work. Like you were just mentioning, the Justice Department, the Auditing Department, and all those various ministries within the country. We need to have competent people to be in those positions. And I know Honorable Bwaka is well experienced, and he knows those kind of people that are going to go into the position, and they're going to be able to help to carry out all those things that we are talking about. So auditing is one, war crime code is one. That's what we've been crying for. And for the government to have structure and have policy and strengthen the institutions in Liberia, because most of our institutions are weak. They are very weak. And where we have weak institutions, it's hard for anybody to account for anything. So let's just look at the corruption, anti-corruption bureau, or how you would call it in Liberia. It's weak. It is weak because what? It has no arm of enforcement. So when those institutions are strengthened by this government, you will begin to see changes in Liberia. So we are hoping that the government will empower those various institutions that have been weak, so that Liberian people can see the difference from the past to the present. So I think those are the things the president is focusing on. And lastly, I would say the country is divided. In fact, that was said by the outgoing president of the country divided. But who divided the country? Who divided the country? He was peace ambassador for United Nations for all those years, and he served as peace ambassador. So people look up to him to strike peace. But what has been his peaceful way of conducting business in Liberia? So again, it falls on his lap, and those are the things that the president is going to be inheriting to make sure that the country unite and to make sure that we all work to develop our own country. Because man, nobody want to be in the United States for the rest of their life. You want to go home, even if you don't have a government job. You want to go home and live peacefully in your little house or wherever you have there, and be safe in your place. But when we have people, most of our young people who are on drugs, who don't care, committing crime here and there, and we have those kind of people with drugs being infested in the country, or all those kind of things, and there is nobody to take control or take charge, is a post threat to you and myself. So what we expect that the government, the incoming government, will put a structure in place, a structure that will be there to strengthen the rule of law, to hold people accountable if they commit crime or if they do anything that is wrong with in the country. People should be held accountable. Most of the time, we have not seen it. Over the last 6 years, we have not seen it. So it was something that, and that one of the things that people voted for this president. So hopefully those things can be put into place. And I'm optimistic that Liberia is going to be yearning to a new day. Things going to get better. It's going to take time, but I know things going to be better. It's not going to be a business as usual. So, and I'm optimistic about that. And that's the kind of Liberian that I'm hoping for.
Roland, welcome. What do you have to say? We just posted a question. Welcome to the show for tonight. AJ will return and now will come back as a panel, but right now I'm co-hosting. So this question is out there. Liberians have voted, they have made a decision. The current president conceded to the incoming president. Liberia has to move on, but Liberia always have a high expectation above the ability of whoever they place in our expectation. That one I won't go there another Liberia. Our expectations are always very high, and we don't consider the variables around. Now, Omen Braga is taking over a country that all of them crying. Liberia is this, Liberia is hard. Drugs in the country, no job, no day. What is your expectation for Omen Braga first 100 days in office?
I want to say good afternoon to everybody, the listeners, and for you guys, and for those who may come back later to watch this. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I want to say congratulations to the president-elect. Like I always say, our president. And I know Omer Baka have been saying a lot in 100 days. In President Baka 100 days, according to him, he'll be looking at the road first. He's not going to go pave the road to Pokota, but he will make sure and pave those roads and make sure and put low balance it in the way where at least car can move. Well, in 100 days, and then with the expectation of President Boyka, president-elect, it will be like the senior man Dave just said, on corruption. These are one of the things the auditing. He will audit all those government officials that loot the country. They will make sure that's one of the main aim. And the work and code that we've been seeking somewhere with, we know Labran will surely get that work and code. So Waka will do everything to straighten the country because we see, a lot of people keep saying 100 days we'll see this and that. Yeah, we want to listen to you. People. They can say whatever they can say, but rest assured that Labrador will be transformed to a new Labrador. That people will move, travel freely, live freely, and do whatever thing you think you can do over there. So the country that we found ourselves today, the Labrador today, it will not be that Labrador tomorrow. It will be a newborn Labrador. People will live happily. People will work freely, and I will say this again. And Waka administration, it will not be on a level of friendship. No, that administration is not because oh, you know Waka my friend. Yeah, I go in there for job. Because some of us will come every day will be on the social media, and we know that Waka will not accept such thing like that. So before you get job, you must know yourself good. You must know your value. You must know the kind of degree that you're standing on before you enter that hall for confirmation. So Bwaga not just going to go appoint anybody because of friend, or you be my friend for so years and you be on my campaign team, you be running there, you be collecting money from me. No. So people that within the mess surrounding, they already know themselves. See the kind of government officials that you know, people with degree. So the administration of Bwaka will be or administration that the world, the librarian will really, really appreciate. And like he said, I'm only come to come and fix the country and turn it over to the young people. So the opportunity have been given to him. So the 100 days, when I expect everything for Bwaga to change everything, the 100 days will be a very difficult 100 days for us. That administration will be very, 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 very difficult 100 days because to put that country back in place the way we are looking, it's not easy right now. It's not easy. Everywhere you go right now, everything's poor. And you talk about the division between the division in the country. Like my brother Dave, he just said, Joe, we have a peace ambassador. Why he did? But to bring division in the country, all the years will be some of
Can
our
I can I can I hold you there a little bit? I mean, Georgia is off this picture now. Let's
no,
discuss our
we talking
president.
about the division. We talking about but there where the division came from. That's why I'm going to the division. I'm not going on Georgia.
The division keep on Georgia administration. Is that what we're saying?
What I say to my analysis over here, since I know elections have been going on, president candidates have been running, I have not seen such a division go on in 2023. This division really, really established in 2023. It was there before, but it was not showing to the world at large, let people see. Yeah, we saw other wars in the 80 wars where two angry groups fighting each other. Yes, at the end of the day, Labrador State had low peace and low understanding between the two angry groups. But when it comes to the 2023, we see the division, we see counties, like my own here, like my own here, like my own here. We see all those things. But we pray that Omen Baga will straighten all those things and put stop to this thing and unite every labyrinth so we all can know that everybody we are one. No matter where you come from, the west side, the southeast side, the north, the east, anywhere you think, we are one Liberians. So with all those divisions, I know under the administration, the new administration as for January, it's going to be a tough. It's going to be a very tough. I know even the 100 days, in 2 years' time, it will not be easy for that government to straighten things together. But I know with the experienced people on our board, on the team of Waika, things will be better. And Labra will be number one.
Okay, thank you, Macron.
Yes, my man. I'll be a part-time in your church. You know, I respect you a whole lot. But yeah, what you got for me?
Yeah, so during the campaign, I can remember before the campaign, Omen Bwaka traveled to Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
And the journalist asked him what he could do for this country, ISA, why can't he give the chance to the young people? And one of the things he said that we give the country to the young people, and it seems to be the young people are not on the right path for the country. We want to bring the country back on path. When he returned from Nigeria, he had an interview with a journalist, and like the local journalist in Liberia, he said it should take someone 100 days to be able to pave these roads in the country. So that's why I'm posing this question. What do you guys expect of Omen Bwaka? His statement, as per the reality that is on ground in the country, you as a person, you're from your logical standpoint, if you were to say yes, these are expectations I'm placing on Omen Bwaka for his first 100 days, what would be your expectation?
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, and I believe our listener and brothers on the media will agree with me 100%. Look, we got a major issue in this country. even though we have an elected, leadership, but that leadership go through a lot. Every leadership that comes into power has its own difficulties, but it just depends on the level of difficulties. But this one, I would like to plead to my incoming president and the Liberian people that we need to rally up. And if we don't want to die in office, we need to rally up with him, not to be stressing out on him. When they came into this picture for the benefit of our country. Look at Ivory Coast. They let over burn it. Oh, but he set a path. And that path was only guaranteed with the help of the people of Ivory Coast. They supported his ideology. They never go against him, even though there are people who were not in favor of him. But because of the country, they decided to listen and follow that path. So I think right now, honestly, I'm not going to look at any development because development going to come. Oh my God, when I develop a bro in the next 6 years, I'll tell anybody for that. Even if he's a great man, that's impossible.
So, anybody say I would do
That they on their own, Pastor. They on their own.
the minister anybody say they get a 400 days from grocery to here. They just say will be all protest.
And this is my point now, right? And that's why I want my papa, my grandfather, to come in to show the world his leadership expertise, right? Right now, he is being looking at as the godfather or the grandfather of the republic. Every soul look up to this old man right now, right? So what I would tell him is that for unity, the first thing I will concentrate on is to unite the people. It don't take 2 years to unite the people. It just requires one simple speech that will unify the entire republic. And President is preparing those speech, and not just speech. Those speeches should count actions. Should be actionable, right? So if my Omer gonna say, look, all the young people, I know you are frustrated. We have tried his best, equally so he should be taking full responsibility of his failure. He did not, research or went out there for the rightful people to be able to help him to grow and to make this country to be great or to be a success. He still has the opportunity to come by 2029. But right now, what every meaningful Liberian should be doing is not about CDC. CDC days are over. If you're ready, my citizen brothers, if you really want for CDC to have an impact or to have a voice in 2029, you should work with women workout. If you show the women what you can do, I'm pretty sure you're going to be inclusive into this new leadership. Some of us who got a very, we're in corporate America, we don't want job in Liberia. We want to give our recommendation. We want to be there. We want to educate. Look, Pastor, let me tell you something.
Can you recommend me?
Huh?
Can you recommend me?
No, I don't think so. You'll be available to be recommended.
The inside for to be savage. You can be savage.
Just for you, Pastor Spencer, you are now eligible to be.
No, he's a Liberian. So obviously, I would say yes. I believe in your ability, Pastor. I will recommend you. You know, I will recommend you for because right now in Liberia, the youth, you need people like you. Not just because of the spiritual side.
No,
you have to start.
I'm not cutting you off. Who made Pastor Success to be the head pastor in the country?
No, he's a pastor. Remember, he's going to be a pastor. He will die as a pastor, but he's not limited to that. He has more to contribute to the society. So
you put my lay engineering degree again. You put it one side. My career certificate, almost close to 15 to the certificate that they follow right here. You put everything one side, and then retire me to religious activity.
But you see all the one and you say you don't let good thing.
They're
You
not
say you
doing it right.
want bad thing.
But
So yeah,
now,
we'll have to for you. We'll help
understand,
forget for to get you.
the center of the country, we need somebody like you, right? To be able to speak to our people, especially the station. They need people like you because you are a reasonable man. You are say your part. You are making pretty much explanatory that you stand for the truth and I believe in you. I respect you a whole lot. I'm telling you right now. I'm not saying it because you are supporting open program, or the process, but we should stand for the truth and we should stand for Liberia. Liberia is all that matter. If somebody say, oh look, everybody cannot be a leader, everybody cannot work in government, but we can support a government to make an impact. We don't government.
This is
And
my
it's the government responsibility to create opportunity for a citizen to contribute to make an impact as well. So it's
okay. Let me throw the let me throw the out and let's discuss it. I think on the show HY Dave and myself might be around the same age range or so, but you and Ronan, you guys, sorry, I'm not trying to be sarcastic or trying to be mean. You guys, but you guys are little brothers.
On the whole show, I'm the smallest on this show here. So that one part everybody call it.
But let me say this. With my experience as a Liberian working with from Amos Sawyer government, Bruce Sano Perry, Judy Bryan, Mano Serif, and so on before I came to the US. I've been in government for a very long. I came in government at a very young age. What I have experienced in Liberia is that the standard of expectation for Liberia, it can be so high to the point that the capacity of whom they placing an expectation on is far limited than the expectation. And I think that's one reason why we are very fast as a people to be disenchanted and stand against our leader, to be agitated against our leaders. I think our problem, void of what be a jury administration, whoever, but I think as a country, they act of it is the government responsibility to do it. And I should just be a beneficiary of whatever government is going to do. I can sleep, wake up in the morning, see it as government institution and do what I want to do. The next thing I notice about us as Liberians, we don't attach honor, value, respect, integrity to anything that concerns government. Right? For example, people say, "Man, a government team for you, not for you, that government project, it's for all of us." And that government project for all of us is the fact it doesn't come with good intent. It means that it should be treated anyhow, it should be handled anyhow. So with this attitude of Liberia, right, or Liberians, how do we expect our government? Now, you guys right here just said something very key. And I want to pay attention to it because when I end, all of you have time to come in. Somebody said in the first 2-3 years, this government won't be able to do much because they have to set a system into place. The question now is how many Liberians have that mindset?
That's a
I'm posing the question because
I'm not going to speak right now. Let my brother then go ahead and contribute to that.
How many Liberians have the mindset that in the next 2-3 years, this government won't be able to do anything? I do believe it. You know what I believe it? Before you come, let me give my own opinion. Do you know what I believe that? I know as a third world country, an African nation that depend on arms. Now I say, I'm talking about grant, donors, international partner helping you, all the stuff. When a new government come into power, the first 2 years, it's just about observation. The international community, donors, businesses, investors observing your system. How your governance system will load your security sector and all those stuff, what have you, they're observing you. When you enter the 3 year, the 2 year, they go to the 10 year, If they are satisfied with the way they sit and start exploring, they will come in your country and look and see what you got, negotiation style, what have you. And after you go to 2, 3, 4, 5, you get to know the first term have elapsed. Government actually come, I'm talking about in the third world, like in Africa, like country like Liberia. I'm not talking about like the United States, Europe, no. In Africa, government really start to function when they are given opportunity in their second term. But how many Liberians understand that scenario that will not start getting on the street against Omen Baga in the first 100 days? For me, that's my worry right now. So I don't know how you guys look at it. What is you guys' opinion? I want to start with this.
And this is not just unique to Liberia. It's everywhere you go. People always hold high expectation of government. And sometimes it can be due to the promises that government official will promise during election year. Sometimes it just comes as something from the subconscious of people. So people will hold these kind of high expectations because he promised them. Like for instance, you tell somebody, say, if you let me as your president, I will connect all the roads in Liberia. So they go and elect you, you become president. So they have the expectation that you will build those roads that you promised them. So those are the kind of expectations Liberians have. We promise so much that we can deliver, and that is the problem. And if you look at the population in Liberia, maybe about, I would say, 65% of the country is letter. The rest of the probably 35% don't really read or write and understand those kind of critical issues that come with government. Because government is just not one person though. Government entails a whole group of citizenry that runs the affairs of the country.
Gentlemen, let me.
So,
Hold on, Dave. I want to say something. My wife and I had have late night dinner here or did, so I will have to leave the show. But Pastor Success will take over. But I really thank you guys for your input. I see you can see I already switched the outfit.
Current man, current situation.
Wait now, so you see
So you,
that the kind of
so you
leadership
just
that we're
got
talking about that
Success.
so the thing why
You
I said
just
I
got
have to tell
Success
them the
at
power
all.
I starting so you brought us, you set up on the platform, and you leave here, you go in.
Then you
No,
leave it and say,
no,
Pastor Success,
no.
you
I
be
said
here, I
this
go
from the
eat.
beginning that I told Pastor Success that my wife and I had a late night dinner. So yeah, I said this.
AJ, you only can call Pastor Success higher. Say, I go eat, you're not eating.
No, Pastor Success is one of my co-hosts. He really helped with the show, so he's gonna take over the show. But guys, I have to go.
No,
Why
we
you get
agree.
a Macron?
Eh?
Why you get a Macron?
Marco is an IT man. He's a
So
cyber
you get Pastor Success to want to go eat and you get day two to go on.
No, but I
Don't
said
bring us on the show.
no,
Don't
but
bring us on the show.
I said this earlier to my friend that
Macron,
Marco. No,
your message
no,
when function you will have a day where you want to for you to host to be a co-host.
Oh yeah, but man, I try to go look for fufu man. I pass on man from pass on now grandpa's time
Yeah,
to
but
go
the
swap.
message when you be co-host, he going out.
You go I know that, but Pastor you can tell what. Yeah,
This man is afraid to be host. That guy is afraid to be host, my man.
I want to be neutral. Actually, sorry for that. I want to speak because when I host, you want to control me now. I shouldn't say what I want to say.
Yeah. So Malcolm, Dave, and Roland, Pastor Sosa is going to continue with the show. I really appreciate you guys, and you know when wifey didn't say it's time to go, we have to.
I know. And it's time to go.
Yeah, man, my deal with see the man.
Okay, gentlemen, we will be ending the show by in the next 30 minutes. So 5 minutes after 12, we'll be getting out of here. So
Yes, sir.
right now, I just threw out a question to you guys. You know, the kind of expectation we raised, and they were on the floor when AJ came in. So we're gonna give Dave additional 5 more minutes, to say what you have to say, and then we'll come to Roded and Macron, and then everybody will still have like 1 or 2 more minutes to get a party statement, and then we can close the show.
Yeah. Oh, so
So
like
Dave,
I was.
continue.
Yeah. So like I was saying, as an expectation can be as a result of sometimes the promises that we make during elections. When you, especially places like back home in Liberia, when there's an election, people go and promise, and they will say that they will build skyscraper, that they will build the bridges in the air, and they will do all of those things, and people will be clapping and be happy. So when the election is over and they vote for you, and then you win the election, then they have those expectations that you promise. And that's one key, that's one thing that you see people have high expectation. But there's a disadvantage to a high expectation though. It can be frustrating. And that's where most Liberians find themselves. If you set out a high expectation and a person get into power and those expectations are not met, then you see the frustration. Then you see people are yelling, people are screaming in the street, people are protesting, and they are doing all of those things. And that is the result. So the best way to go to election or to go to public service is never promise anything. Tell them your qualification, tell them what you're able to do, and let them know that you, with the constitutional mandate, these are the things that are required to do within a purview of your position. And don't promise all of those things, because when you promise a lot and the expectation become high, it is hard to understand. And people get frustrated. So that is the reason why you see people in our country, by the time the president get into power and after maybe the first 1 year and they don't see those things that they thought that they would have happened, then they start to they'll get out there and say, the other man he like this, or the other one he like this, or he like. So you're gonna see a lot of noise happening, even with the election of President Joseph Boakai. He's not an injured. He's not going to turn Liberia that have been devastated for all these many years with a speed of gold immediately as he take power. It's going to take time. But one thing I can guarantee you here, though, is that there will be a structure in place in Liberia. We will have a rule of law in Liberia. Our institution will be built on this leadership. And those are the things I can assure you. I'm not going to stay here tonight and tell you, say, we're going to build all the streets in Monrovia. We're going to have we're going to have water running. We're going to have electricity 24 hours. We're going to have, all the road connected. No, but I can assure you that there will be a rule of law in Liberia. Nobody will go with impunity anymore. Our institution will be built. There will be policy on government operation. Those are the things that we lacking up in the last government. And those are the things I know Honorable Boakai is going to work on. So Liberians should now have that kind of how at this time. Let us see how we can build little things and then we can move forward. Because when you have those things built, then you are able to build upon them to connect yourself to some of those things. Because we heard the president talk about arrests, when you talk about agriculture, road, and all those kind of things. But those things will come later on as we have these policy and structure into place.
Somebody
So that,
ask me a question, or Nigerian generally ask me a question. Say your message to your Liberian people is arrest, agriculture, something, and tourism, all the stuff, and it's already asking, will you put the remaining the missing arrow? So it can be 2 hours, they'll be arresting, can be arresting people in the street for corruption. And he said, yeah, people have to account for whatever they did, so that's a good one. So it's arrest, or nothing with the other arrow being added and that arrest.
mm-hmm.
So Roland, what do you have to say the way we build our standard on government official, on government, on people who are in the state offices, the way we build our expectation? Is that one factor that caused us to go against leadership very fast like that in Liberia?
First of all, I would say, like, bro, we got a belief like when the leader take go in office or take power, they got all the responsibility on their head to do everything. And I will say this to my young folks and my age group: work for yourself. The government, they say, the people got to say when they helping to wash your back, you should help to wash your stomach. So not because you put somebody in power and you expect them to come put food on the table for you. No. If the government is doing this or doing some cleaning or somewhere, yourself should be able to clean behind your own house. But we found a lot of our people, our young folks, it's not the old people in the country get the problem. It's the young folks. The young people are the one that get the problem. That we hearing right now, they're waiting 100 days and that they will be all on the street and they'll be there, they will be that. The young folks. But the old folks then that you in Liberia that are well educated, they sit down, they know the system, they know. It's gonna be very hard for Omen Burger in the next 3 years because one, right now as a papa sitting in a house on out of January, he doing, I guess, to my understanding, my analysis right now is he making contact, phone calls, placing phone calls, places there. Right now is the international donors to trust a leader in Liberia is very, very hard. So that trust alone, that trust that I see right now that Omer Burger is trying to put in place before his inauguration. He's trying to make contact in connecting the international partners, donors, the investors then who are in the country, they run away, how they mistreat them and other stuff, they run away, and to bring them back in the country. Those are things that Omer Burger is suffering on right now. He's trying to put those things to build that trust among those people. So we see, we don't want for people to feel like Omer Burger, he just can't over there within 2 days, 3 days straight, the whole country will be upside down, will be faced. No, it will not yet be
So
faced.
if I
It
may,
will take years.
if I may give you a follow-up question, if I may give you a follow-up question, when you're talking about, investors were in the country and they ran away, because we own a war state, even that 1 or 2 person listening to us, we want our audience to trust this platform that will give information, we can authenticate it to make sure that when they go out there with it, they say, yeah, we heard it from this platform and this is the source of the information. Can you tell our audience how many companies that were in Liberia that ran away because of some ill treatment or some unprofessional behavior method against them?
Like when I listen to the show of the guy he sent who called from Burkina Faso, they are one of the investors that was in the country. According to him, name a lot of company, which I catch the names of those companies. He said they all run away because the time they spent in Liberia, at the time they were abandoned. They were not treated the way in which they were expected to be treated in the country. So at the end of the day, they have to leave the country and he will have to go to Burkina Faso. He called on a spoon talk. He was on a spoon talk explaining. So I may not come out to say, oh, I know this company, but what I heard on the radio, when this guy called or phone call, he was on the line. That's why he said there are a lot of investors then why he know they came alone, they had negotiations, sit down on table, and because the way they were treated in the country, they have to leave. So what I'm saying here is the same thing Omer Burger is trying to do right now to build trust back in those same people around that he know that other people will recommend, hey, Omer Burger, get an investor here, the people can do this, the people can do this. Even our own Liberian here, let's just say you get a company over here and you want to go over there. Before then, let's just, if doing the government right now in power, you are afraid to carry your investment in the country. But now you want to go there, but you still worry. So, I hold the other government will not be there. The same government, the old government are in power. Last year. So how will you go there? You need guarantee. You need guarantee. How can you get that guarantee? You need a guarantee from the higher up. So if you get that recommendation to the president for you, he will definitely going to get your recommendation. I'll recommend this. Trust me on this. Trust me on that. So this is the phone call that No Burger is putting in place right now. And I want to say this to all our young folks. Try at least. We came from over there, we know how we struggle. But to be misled by people is one of the things that are killing our people. Them, let's go do that one. See all of them running. When you learn one or two books for yourself, one or two things, yeah, trust me, nobody will fool you. Nobody will lie to you. But our young folks in the country said they don't want to learn. They don't want to push themselves out. They feel that when the government comes, but I left Waka campaign. There was no promise that was made in it. He never promised the country, say, I will build bridges, I'll do this, I will do that. He never promised. He said, you'll put me there. Don't give me the time. Let me face the country and turn it
That
on.
promise. When you
Let
say
me
I will
face
fix
the
something, it's
country.
a promise.
He never, even when you say, yeah, that was just a yes, I agree there's a promise. But is that promise did not come with time frame in it. It did not come with expectation behind it. Let me face the country and turn the country over. And one of the things he said, in 100 days, it was a rule. That, that was another promise that
Yeah,
he
but in a
he
room now.
made. The rules. He said, I will make sure in my 100 days, the
You get
road will
carried now
be
in the
fixed.
room. Go see that you
But
can
we are not
follow.
talking about when I say fixing, that we're going to lay quota or bridges everywhere. We'll make sure that we connect the road. The play what road never used to reach there. We'll make sure we connect it and make it that car will be running until we can put one or two things there. But
Okay.
yeah, so
Okay, Roland. So, because of time, Father, we're going to hold you there and move on to Macron. And then right after that, we'll throw out one question. And on that question, everybody will get a party statement, make a comment on that question, and then get their party statement. And then we'll get close the show for the night.
all
Macron.
right.
Yes, sir. So James, we're having a great show tonight. Thank you, Pastor Success. You know how I feel about you. But yes, you see, right now, I'm not gonna lie to you. All right. Liberia is divided. And nothing right now. If I were part of the youth advisor to the old man,
Yeah,
I would
Macron.
I would,
Because
I
you, your father. I like that position, my man.
would tell him right now to concentrate on the young people because we know that even within the very CDC, these are young people who are inspired. They want to do great things. They have family to take care of. These are young men and young women who also have the family as well as politicians. But these people fail them. So I think the women should be able to establish not just on a party level, but on a national level, a youth institution, somebody who will not go after seditions, who will be neutral and see every young people as ones that need some form of opportunity. Because right now we're seeing the CDC, the leadership is done. They know that they cannot, they understand that they cannot, surpass those numbers. But the problem is, the problem they are having is to convince the followers. And that's what we're talking about leadership. To be able to tell people, say, to be able to convince. If you can tell people, say, look, we didn't make it, but we still have the opportunity. And I'm saying that this is not only CDC or president, we have responsibility. It's also the responsibility of Open Boycott to be able to come in and say, look, my people, my children, my grandchildren, I'm not here to segregate this country. I'm not here to bring, divisiveness. If you're a meaningful Liberian, whether you have a degree or not, you still have a chance to make an impact, to contribute towards our society. You can count on both. But I think the first thing the woman needs to do is to unite this country. The young people are divided. I'm saying myself, yeah, I went to school with people that I myself don't talk because of the government. And like Pacificus Basic Gear, even the one that went for the hearing, what's his name? Darlington County. We all went to Collington. These guys, the only thing Darlington did at Collington University was music. He was a music director at Collington University. So you came to America, you work with a couple of airlines, and you think you can run the entire country? No, the entire country airport. Look at the requirement of those positions. But again, as a president or as a leader, you need to bring people around who are qualified to be able to help you. You don't have to know everything as a leader, but your counterpart that you have around you will assist you into your leadership role. And that's something that President we have felt, not only himself, all the
Man,
people.
how many small now?
Hey, Pastor, look, in as much as you guys want us to leave President name, we have to make emphasis on these things. We have to say
I'm
these
on the
things.
again. I'm even like rebel. So when you give president, I'm going to just forget the ever die on the way. All be anything how your name be mentioned.
This is the thing. You are the leader, so you are being account for everything that goes on in the country, whether be it good or bad. And
One,
that's what
one of my mentor in life. He's dead and gone, but he still mentored me because I survived on his materials, books he have written. He's from the Bahamas. He's called Dr. Max Moreau.
yeah, I know him. I
He
follow him on
says,
yeah, anyway. Yeah, he was dead. He's one of the greatest pastors in the Caribbean.
yeah, he said, everything in life uprises and fall on the shoulder of a leader.
Yep.
And I hold on to that philosophy very, very strong. But however, with that being said, my last question for the night is, with my experience in Liberia, I have come to realize that 80% of the fall of every leader or government in Liberia start from the diaspora, more especially in this country that we live in. Do administration, despite what he did, right? But when the people on the side rose up against him, he fell. The going down of CDC government is at the result because people in the United States rose up against George Weah, and their message were preached on social media and every place. And we, I mean, Liberian bought the message, and I think it's one fighter that defeated the CDC government into the election. My question tonight is, my question is, what could be your advice in terms of national, national development, national building our country? What would be your advice to diasporan Liberians? I was talking to a guy not too long before I came on the show. The fellow I talked to, and I was talking before, all the name of who to be appointed came on. He said, my man, I know you got expertise. You are maintenance expert because you've been a maintenance director for a couple of government institutions. Government train you as the assets management, technician, all the stuff. Beside that, you're from the background of construction. So do you want to come for us to put things together and see what we can run our little company business in like a company taking contract from government institution like sanitation contract, janitorial contract, and all the stuff? And I told you, I said, so it's a good idea. Myself was taking that same direction, I was hoping I was going to win the election. So I got more friends in the CDC. I could make my way and I want to work in government. That's what I wanted to do. But it's still not there. I'm a Liberian. I still have the right to go home to work, But how many Liberians in the diaspora taking in that direction?
You see, Pastor, that's a great
Let me end and then you guys will come in.
Mm.
Who are taking in that direction? I can call Makoma, I got an idea. Can we work together and go home? Because when you go home and do such thing, you're not going to be that janitor that's going to clean the office. You will hire 4 or 5 Liberians, then somebody is working and getting paid. How many of us thinking? So what is our statement as a platform? What message are we sending out there to diaspora that hey, we're having a new government, there's a new leadership taking place, So this is what we are advising all diaspora to do. What do we intend to tell our people? David, can I start with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for the question, and that is a legitimate question that you just posed. Basically, what you're just speaking about is you're talking about the private sector. You want people to go home to establish it, to help with the private sector and I think that is one of the hallmark of this administration to develop the private sector. Because let's be honest with ourselves, everybody can work in government. We got about close to 5 million people. The government can only employ maybe about 2 to 250,000 civil servants to work. So the rest of the people need to have place to be able to work. And I think the best place we can have those people is in the private sector. So if somebody is trying to tap your experience and your expertise from over here to go home to develop some initiative or company or whatever, it's a good deal. Because in fact, in America that you and myself live, the people that make money are the people in the private sector. The government don't make money. That's why you see people resigning from government in America. They prefer to go to the private sector because the private sector is where the money is. So we can develop the private sector in Liberia. It will be a very good thing. And all the government got to do is just to provide those incentives for the sector in terms of how do you, how they call it, compensate in terms of kind of stabilizing the private sector to develop, having something in the budget, for instance. Let me just give you an example. So let's say you live here and you went to Liberia and you want to do sanitation or garbage disposal, those kind of things. You got to have a vehicle to do those work. And if you're going to buy the vehicle from the outside of the country to carry back into Liberia, how can the government incentivize that? That is at the port when your things get there. How do you get those kind of little things that will give you a break so that you can be able to establish? If you're trying to open a business in Liberia, that's a private sector. How can the government help to boost that business to help you to employ people to work? So it's needed for the government to set up that playing field so that people can be able to, to survive in those kind of area. Everybody can work for government, and I think it's a good thing that we have that kind of mentor way of thinking, that mentality, where we just don't want to leave from here because almost everybody that leave from here now or unemployed worker is in power. So the next thing is you will see our brothers and sisters flying to go to Liberia. They're going to look for a job, but we're supposed to actually be going to Liberia to create job instead of going the other way. So I think if the private sector is given an opportunity and the government can provide incentive in that area, you see most Liberians going there. I got a couple of friends that are going this December. They are taking some businesses there. They already established the business. They're going to be doing it. But if the government does not give some backing as to how they can get some maybe free import duties to start, and even some of the non-profit organizations we have in our community here that want to send things to Liberia just to help the people to be able to make it. So, and at the port during the time of the regime that we in now, the Jawea regime, at the port is astronomical hard to even take things from the port. So if they can, kind of relax those kind of fees, those kind of thing, that will also help, Liberia
Just
to a
to
great,
add,
to
before you
a great
continue,
deal.
Dave, just to add to that, there's one critical issue that Liberian people never understood. The way Manoseli left that port, it put Liberia in a big jeopardy. They signed a 25-year contract with APN Terminal. APN Terminal control the forwarding and clearing of continuous and other, sea cargoes from that port. So they determine how freight are charged, and the government just get a little portion of it, and because the port basically being privatized.
You see,
You
and
know,
those are the things we are talking about. Some of the bogus contract we're talking about that we talk about doing this election. Some of those bogus contract gotta be revisited, to kind of release some of the tension or the high pressure being placed on Liberia. We gotta prioritize Liberian business and any foreign business. As it is now in Liberia, the foreigners are making it more than the Liberian that live there. So we have to prioritize Liberian business. Let Liberian be first in the business. Encourage Liberian. Unless there is no qualified Liberian, then we look out to our foreign partners. But Liberian businesses should be encouraged. I tell you this. Let me leave this one with you now before I leave. We're gonna be going to Liberia, the Sapo Development Association. We're gonna be going to Liberia to build something we call a city hall that we can use for entertainment for our people. That building gonna cost about $100 to $150,000.
Sign up.
No, we're gonna build it right in Monrovia. It's gonna we just secure land. I'm gonna be building that place right
Why don't
off
you do it
our
in Sando,
our
man?
road.
Moreover already has a lot of good things. I think Sando
No,
would.
we are already built 3 houses in Liberia. I mean, in Sino, that are already taking care of our nurses that go down there because our government can't provide housing for them when they go there. So we build those houses in few of our districts where people can go when they go home. In case government send nurses over there, they don't have a place to stay. Those are the places we have our nurses to stay. So we have built about 3 houses over there to house, and each of those houses have about 3 rooms. So we have done that. But this particular building I'm talking about is that we want to use it to commercialize it in order to be able to help us to incentivize some of those projects that we're taking, that we're doing in the Sano area. So that means it's not going to be a free building, but I mean when you use it, the little thing that we take from there, we'll be able to maintain those buildings back there. But we're going to need a help from government. We're going to be importing things from overseas to go over there. So that's why we are saying that the agreement, some of the agreement have been made at the people of Monrovia. It's not in the interest of Liberia. It's not in the interest of Liberian businesses. So those are some of the things that President Walker is going to be looking at. And to take care of Liberians want to go home and do business. They want to go and work for themselves. They don't want to go into government. The Liberians that are here, even though people say that Liberians that are overseas go over there and cause are the problem for Liberia. We are not a problem. Do you know why? It's because when you come from Liberia and you come into the Western country, you've been exposed. And once you are exposed, you want to be able to take those same ideas back home. And it is hard for people to accept those new ideas. And that is why we are fighting in Liberia. People see you as an outsider when you leave from here and go to Liberia, even though you're trying to do something, but they still see you as an outsider. So we got to be able to change the mindset of our people. We are all here for one goal, and that is to build Liberia. But unless the mindset with our brothers and sisters back home change a little bit and see us as brothers and sisters that are going there to contribute to the Liberian society, then it will make more sense. So I don't think the diaspora Liberians are making problem. It is because the Liberians themselves on the ground don't want to change, don't want to accept those changes that we're trying to see. Because when we come over here, we see things that are good here, and the good things we want to take it back home. And because our brothers and sisters who are there, who have never seen those kind of things, they think that they are opposite. Essentially, they will oppose it, and that is where the fight is. But I hopefully that in this government, Liberians have now begun to travel a lot. People, the mindsets are opening. People are learning. People are getting, learning all those new things. They want to take the technology back home, those kind of things. So things will change, and I'm hoping under this president things will be better. It's not going to be
Okay.
like the one that we have.
Uh, Macron, I gave you 2 minutes because we said we want to close by 12:04, 12:05, 12:04 now. So we just put it to 12:10 quickly. I give you 2 minutes and then I'll move to Rhoda and then we can close.
Yes, sir. So you see, Pastor, we had a great show tonight. But first thing I want our people to understand here is that in Liberia, the only way we can grow the private sectors when people who are giving leadership, like unlike the CDC, the incoming
Hey,
government,
God, that's the support. I don't know.
unlike the CDC, what I expect from this current regime is to stop giving contracts that are meant to grow the private sectors. They should stop giving it to people who are already established. I mean, established people who are already given government positions. Like, whether you work as a senator in the Senate or as a representative or even in the executive, right? We should stop that because we are seeing that in the. I mean, we'll look at the period of our year. We're seeing people. I'll look. I will start calling names like someone father name. Sir Joseph. These people, they are lawmakers. Their job is to speak for their people or their various constituents, not to go out there and start seeking for government contracts, contracts that are meant for the public, contracts that are meant to be given to common or local Liberians who are not yet into politics. Because if I give you a job or a contract to a politician who is already been established, right? I mean, he's not going to even make any effort because first thing, he's already having other income coming in, and then you're giving him another contract. He's not even doing it. And now what it takes is that everybody looking at him to be a god. And the idea of worshiping politicians in our country needs to stop. If you are not creating opportunity for people, young people, you shouldn't be giving those privileges. You shouldn't be looking at as a god. Okay. And that's the problem in our country because we think that when people get off $50, we think that's all to it. No, we're talking about empowering the youth of this country, creating opportunity for young people, people who have graduated from university, who are obtaining degrees. They are yet to make an expression. They cannot even express themselves in area that they have learned in terms of discipline, right? But we hear saying now and glorifying politicians, we should stop giving opportunity to people who are already enriching themselves. Imagine your senator making $15,000 a month, and you still giving him contracts at an executive level. He doesn't work at an executive level. You see, that's the main problem in this that affected this government. Give this contract to other. I'm not. If I say Silesian, they are Liberians. But there are other people, every government can, they will seek the interest of its own people, right? Even though they are looking at the collective effort or looking at the country at a holistic view, right? But at the end of the day, a government should be able to look at its people from a holistic point of view. Everybody should be able to benefit. Liberia is not big enough that we cannot benefit, we cannot achieve. It's small. Pastor, if I have the idea, matter of fact, in Liberia now, the people, it's not all about government. The people that are wrong, that bring in parts. Imagine this body. If we say, okay, you they trucking. If you come on and say, gentlemen, that rate about 150,000 now, we build, a real, auto parts store in Liberia, right? We don't need plenty people. We all become a partner. We become an investor. We make money. But what we're doing, we're creating opportunity for people. But mind you, when you have these ideas and you go and you take a Liberia, you have people in government stepping on Liberians. Oh, you come from America. You want to get opportunities? We need to stop that. We will not help our country because everybody cannot work in government. We need to open the private sectors. And how can we open the private sector? By giving this opportunity. You go Ghana. The poor Ghanaians do not give foreigner opportunity. The first people they prioritize their people. Why can't we do the same? Liberians give opportunity to foreigner more than their own people. We should start looking at our own people, not just whether you are Silesian or you are in opposition. As long as you are a Liberian and you have the meaningful resources to invest or to create opportunity to create jobs for other Liberians, I think the government of Liberia should give you the opportunity. They should hear your voice without any sentiment, without any reward. You should be able to go at the Ministry of Commerce to secure your own bond. But you get people, imagine you carry your business, you got 100,000 to go open maybe your security agency in Liberia, right? And you go to various ministry, people taking you go to that ministry, they're taking you money. Everybody demanding you money from you. How much would be left for you to open your own business to be able to help other people? Knowing that the government is not helping other people, they are not
just to add to what you see before Ronan comes in. Somebody like 2 years ago, I intend to open. I think I talked about that black factory I opened in Liberia. Before I was opening, the president WEAH was on a camp. I think a second county tour. So the beginner was in charge of my business. He said, "Oh, you can come and see you. They just start making black say they don't rest. I come and say no. Do my article in corporation, go rest of my company, everything before we start making black. The beginning do the article to go foreign affair with incorporated everything. The man went to the LRA. The business certificate. There's a director I call it. I think it's the director of small businesses. brother, a director of a small business, say, what you got to do with President county tour? He and the president go on county tour, and the certificate at their party on his desk. Nobody can stand it the father in there. So my question was, if just this one man is not here, and we as local people, like they just, coming to pay 150, 200 to sign our document for it to get us to go to our business and get our aiming. And he's not here.
Joe, you don't
What happened to the country? A multi-million dollar business can, are they going to wait for that man to come sign certificate before? Why are you going to be a president? You are a technocrat. And they were not just about citizen government. These are things that have been happening in our government for generation to generation.
Yep.
And we need to put stop to them, like you said. We need to put stop to them. But thank you for the name, Makun already. What your advice, what your statement to our diaspora? Instead of sitting there collecting money and undermining government in Liberia that we've been doing for almost 15, 20 years, they have never helped us. This time we have a new era. A new government is coming in. Omen Bwaka is coming, trying to bring some technocrat, and so on. What is your advice to diaspora? Should we start talking to friends we know who got businesses, who want to invest into other foreign countries, to go to Liberia and see what is a possibility? Or can we come together? Hey, Roland, here, I get 10,000. I'm going to get a part of it. Let's go to Liberia, push together. Let's do it. Is that what you want to tell our people? What is it that you get to tell our diaspora?
That's a brilliant question you asked over there. And you just take my attention on something on LRA. I'm a victim in a LRA something. Seriously. I send my boys because I got a movement in Liberia, and I opened a charity. The charity is operating in Cape Town. I send my team to LRA, do all my article of incorporation, everything, to sign that document. I spent almost $300 US, and up to now, as I speak to you, I have never received that document. So I just let that whole thing. I said, it's okay. The next time, myself will be on the ground and do everything. Like it comes to about people from the diaspora over here. Look, we have people are here that are determined to do something back home. A lot of young folks, a lot of us, we want to go back home and enjoy ourselves. We got our construction thing that we're doing all that, putting our building there on a rentage, you build them. We got in there. Then my brother said he trying to open, I know what city hall. He said he trying to open a city hall, Dave. Then myself, where in my bag is I want to open one there. My land I get there. I want a big place there where people will go and rent it and other stuff there. So people want to go do business over there. I encourage every Liberian within the diaspora, wherever you find yourself. But Liberian, the problem of Liberian I see is when Dave and myself come to a conclusion and say, Dave, let's do business together. It will go on fine. But at the end of the day, Dave wants to be the boss. I don't want to accept him to be the boss. I want to be the boss. Dave don't want to accept me to be the boss. And then at the end of the day, confusion start coming. Confusion, small noise. Then I'll be like, oh, I don't trust Dave with the money. Dave will be like, oh, I don't trust whatever. So those expectations that we Liberians with some of us, not all Liberians get our mindset in them. But some Liberians get our mindset in them. They don't want for someone to lead them. And no matter what you do, they're always a leader, no matter how small that person is. A leader will always be a leader. When a leader is choosing, nothing can stop it. As long as nothing.
But
Roden.
Yeah.
I'm out to what you say, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you want to say we decide to be a partner. If we have a partnership, you cannot tell me say you my boss. It will not work. We gonna be a partner.
Partnership. Even
if your partnership, two of you cannot be CEO. One person had to be boss.
One person gotta be a CEO. That's what I'm saying.
They will
One
not
person
hold
got
two
to be
of
a
your hand when you
CEO.
go sign document for 2 years to sign together. One person have to sign
One
it.
person got to be. So that's what I'm talking about. So but somebody have to be your leader. Like I thought when I was in Liberia, I served at your I used to wear along with Joseph Police Department down there in Canasville because I was a union president for the motorcyclists or in the whole of Canasville. I didn't want to country in that place, and I working along with the police department there. So when I came over here, I had that mindset. I called one or two my men that were with the motorcycle union. I said, you know what? I want to open up the thing they call a task force because the task force like within Liberia, they just collecting money for the motorcycle, sell ticket. At the end of the day, policemen will arrest motorball and carry it to the police station and charge that motorball man 2,000, 3,000 or 1,005. In case that man taking that motorball for work and pay for 6 months, and he have to report one because motorball man report 1,000 every single day in Liberia. And you take a motorball 2-3 days in pound it, and I may on work and pay for 6 months. You delay him right there. Then the union man will be the one. So I think about the 5 guys there. I said, my man, we can open a task force over there. We can open a task force and implement in a sense like that task force we can even negotiate with the government where we can get few men we can go and do some training where we know that we can deploy them all around the country. And then we build our own place. Like when motorball men get into a riot with anybody else, police will go there. If police arrest any motorcyclist, and that motorcycle should be turned over to the task force for investigation. If the task force not able, then you refer them back to the police station and then go forward. But the task force should be held responsible when it comes to motorcyclists. We had those agreement, everything was filed, everything, and we try to post on document. But at the end of the day, we say who want to be the leader. The other man say, oh, me, I want to be the other man. So, leader. At the end of the day, they may say, oh, me, I can't listen to the other man. The other man say, I can't listen to the other man. We are on the side, like, you see one of my motorcycle brother, that guy, injured TV, that one of the motorcycle made there for New Joy. He don't want to get injured TV. Yeah. I know a lot of motorcyclists are here that determine that we want to go back. Like me, like, I'm so happy when motorcyclists take that step. Like me, I always said, the background I came from, I'm happy to be a motorcyclist, and I will continue to be a motorcyclist no matter. Because if not a motorbike today, I will never going to be here. If I'm never going to be here, so my root is my root. So whatever development, whatever thing I gotta do,
Riders.
I'm a bona fide member man.
They call it the Taliban.
We,
But
Pastor
guys,
Sunday,
coming of
we
force.
started motorbike in Labrador first. We started with Pimpin. We started motorbike right with Pimpin. From Pimpin went to TVS. They were working and get a smoke behind. From TVS we went to Honda Kia Moto. Before all the money back then start coming in. So all the
the one that don't that they want why you call it with a 3 tire or keke.
Like keke no keke then umpa la ta no in Labrador now when keke then start coming.
Oh, keke na joking in Labrador.
So I like one of the things I see motorcyclists is, and I always want to speak about it, and thank God they got a president because there are too many. The more especially to be frank, and I will urge, let me just go to the topic directly and just leave the motorcycle stuff because one day I know I will come to that talk one day. But I will urge every meaningful Liberians within and out of Liberia, wherever you are, if you're true, you'll get understanding and you want to do business, you'll come together, you'll do business. You can do it with understanding, with peace and love each other, your business will grow. Some of us here, me, I'm doing my own business while I'm doing it by one. Then I'm doing it by one and I'm doing it with somebody. But if I do have somebody where we can put hands together and do business, yes, I'll be very, very happy to do it. I'll be happy to do it. But it's just an understanding.
What's about the media? I know you said something about business. I'm getting old, even though I say I was born 84, I'm the youngest here on the floor.
My man, I'm the youngest here.
I don't intend to continue working for people, right? So for this media, if I'm looking at business, I don't intend to add more people.
You freezing, my man?
To ideas that we all can put together, from this meeting. We all talking about government, right? What can we do to help the government? Because we have to help our government.
Why is there for to help your government?
But your government didn't give opportunity, Pastor. You didn't give all the opportunity to.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
your government like expire government already.
Exactly. When you stepping on Liberians in the diaspora and say, "Oh, you want to come do this, that." Look, my brother, let me tell you something, right? You see this Somalian, I admire them so much. I said it all day on the show.
Before you continue, let me throw the thing out to you guys. I'm about to close this ship, but let me throw it out. Let all go pan, let go think about it. In America, they cow can call manual. And we call manual the cow with a stick.
The cheapest.
You remember for in America, you know you can get some for $400.
What is that for? 250, 2,500 for 4,000.
That's one of the valuable car for transportation in Liberia.
Which one?
The manual, the one can call, I call it the manual, the transmissions of manual transmission, the one can use a cheap gear. When you use it, it can be cheating the gear. Yes.
You buy a car at 90,000 miles, right? For 2,500. You can't get out for automatic, no.
So if 4 young guys come together, say, "Mama, no happy," that go do assessment, get it, say, "Hey, look, go to the National Port Authority, go to the LRA, go to government service, look, we are a group of Liberia in Liberia, we want to establish transportation business, but we want to bring some manual car to Liberia." I don't want to go just sell them.
You mean the gearbox car?
Yeah, the one with the gear.
Oh, yeah, because they don't have. I think they're getting out of style in Liberia.
It's not popular in America. For instance,
for the Leeward counties.
We'll be in traffic, be holding gear and cross and all that thing there.
If good in the Leeward, you know why good in the Leeward county? Those cars, they are good for our bar road. All the manual car is in the bar road. The manual car, they are the one good for the bar roads. So a lot of people use them. People use this car that they want to use for fencing and other stuff.
It will honor administration, you get bar road, but honor the administration, you never get bar road.
So, okay, I agree.
You never get bar road. It will honor job with administration, you get bar road, but this administration, you will not get no bar road. Trust me. Rest is a promise.
Says, let me just make a point to your proposal, right? For this media, I'm not talking about. I mean, we want to create something that will benefit not just us. Me, I'm not in the idea of giving people free thing.
We can start from the 1 year first.
Okay, so I suggest, some of the audience listening, let's do our normal thing. I will call AJ tomorrow. We'll go behind the scene. You know, I will behind the scene. What we can do?
No, me, I'm not there. You know, behind the scene.
We can hide there. We can hide there.
Right? But why I want the media to understand. I want to say that, right?
We can make this show to be well known too.
They put out want to invest in. You are a truck driver, so you have more experience when it comes to cars, right? Do you know that when it comes to mechanical parts in Liberia, it's only the Igbo people that run that in Liberia? There's no Liberian running no any car parts. How long it takes us here? We just get the Mexican people and say, "Look, I'll purchase the car here. You just break it down, label it by parts. Load about 4 to 5. We just raise about 50,000 now here and load it up and carry it Liberia." Imagine, and you say, "Government, you got foreigner taking over your economy, and government will not do all those things."
Okay, gentlemen, we have to go. That's the good ideas are coming out, but we can't exhaust everything on one day. Thank you guys for having you, our audience. It was good that you started with us and you ended with us.
And y'all got the current situation.
You know, so we say we will be here again tomorrow.
Yeah, we want you know, enjoy the show by 7. I leave one pour
Yeah, because I will talk to no. Listen, actually, it's 7. Tuesday is 7. Thursday is 7. It's only on Sunday that will come on 9. So Tuesday we'll be here again. Have a pleasant day. We pray and hope that we all enjoy our new administration. Like my brother Rudy said, all the road in the country, all the road will be quota.
Oh, and let me close before I close it. Pastor Sanders, Monday will be the final result of the pronouncement of the president-elect, His Excellency Joseph M. Boyka and the VP. Monday. Hope you guys come here by 4:30 Liberia time, which is 11 o'clock, so 11 or 10 o'clock, so we can listen to the pronouncement of the NEC. Y'all shouldn't be late.
The election is done. The election is finished. Joe Boyka is president-elect.
No, it's done, but it's not being pronounced. That's what I'm saying.
As the final result here. So with that being said, can we have a show on even though no Tuesday we can have a show?
No, that Monday, tomorrow. Tomorrow is the final result.
Are we having a show Monday?
Okay, I will talk to AJ. Whatever AJ will come in the group chat and let you know. You send the link.
Tomorrow is the final day, so we
Okay,
need to be on
night.
the show here.
Have a pleasant night. See you guys
to
tomorrow.
Go to Liberia, be driving his car with no bouncing, with no hole.
Remember, see you, man. See you, my man. See you guys, my man. Bye-bye.
All right.